Oh,
Oh,
sorry.
not this again.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another 42 Level 1. I'm one of your hosts, Alistair Kennedy. This is the 12th of October 2021. Thank you for joining us. And here with me, as always, the former Twilight Princess of all games, the current Twilight Princess of YouTube, the former, sometimes current CEO of Xbox, depending on his mood, the man of many names, but we just call him one, Andy.
Yeah, Mr. Nadir here as always. Oh, I can't hear the crisp this week. It's a result.
Because it's what?
Last week all I could hear. Last week all I
Yeah,
could hear
but
was Ali eating crisp.
this was you. I don't know why it was doing that. Like, I checked the feed, couldn't hear me eating Chris. You could actually hear me unmute my mic. But for some reason, I can mute my mic and you can hear it, and
Yep.
the microphone on the PC is disabled so that it only picks up my Razer Siren. So
Yeah.
I have no idea how you could hear me eating Chris when this was on mute.
It's very strange because like the sound didn't change or anything like that, so the sound was definitely still coming from like your Razer microphone. But I don't know why if it was muted. like what? Anyway, yeah, I'm fine. How are you?
Good man. Just been dreading coming on the show this week.
Oh, I see what you did there.
Man, I have only played one game. I don't know how many you've played, because obviously we did a show on Friday as well to make up for the one that we didn't do last Tuesday. But the best thing is, Andy, I've came equipped. I've came fully packed, as Duke Nukem would say. I came packing, son. I got a question. I've got a question. Once we've talked about our games that me and you are going to hash it out here on the show, gaming related, obviously, but
Okay.
everybody has to know the answer to this question. So, Friday we did a show, and I know this is Tuesday. I will kick it off and then pass it over to Andy, because everybody wants to know about Metroid Dread. Metroid Dread, I covered on Friday. I played maybe, an hour or two on the show, Andy? Maybe an hour?
Yeah.
I'm seeing all these guys pop up saying, finished in 10 hours, finished in 11 hours. Who the fuck are these players? Because for me, I definitely feel like Doctor Strange halfway through Infinity War, where he says we're in the end game now, and then they want for another 45 minutes in a year till the next film come out. But I definitely feel closer than a year and 45 minutes away. I've unlocked all 7 zones. And like, I'm guessing there's 7 zones. There might be an 8th zone, but there's 7 Emmy. And I've got 7 zones. And I've beat 4 Emmy, and there's 3 left. One of them, minor spoiler, but it's not really a story spoiler. One was kind of not I'll word it in a way so it's not. I don't want to ruin this for anyone because it's great, but Metroid isn't story heavy, but I know how some Metroid fans may be. One of them wasn't active in the basically, when you meet the Emmy, because obviously I covered this on Friday. If you want to hear my initial impressions, check out Friday. So if Emmy, they patrol certain areas of the map, so you know when you're entering an Emmy zone and you know when you're leaving one, and you're very glad. Andy, I've got 3 Emmy left, and I thought that the effect would have worn off, but each one of them's got this kind of, why? How the fuck did you do that sort of thing? Like, what it is when an enemy catches you, you get 2 chances to deflect, right? Just when I've done it 2-3 times, deflected an enemy, and all it does is stuns it, and you can run you need to get out the zone, because if an enemy catches you, you're dead. Basically gives you 2 chances, and the thing is, the timing's different every time. So like, it grabs Samus by the throat, and it does this thing, and then it goes bling, and it gives you the chance to block, and it's a very small window, and it's not the same time every time, and I think this has been done on purpose,
Yeah.
so that the enemy don't fuck with them. And if it gets you the first time, it pins you down with both hands, and then it goes to jab you in the mouth. And I've never blocked the second one. The first one I've blocked maybe 3 times and just ran. So the way that the enemy work in this game is, you get bosses that give you like this overcharge for your beam that's like 1 use only. So what you'll do is, like, you'll play through a zone, you unlock different areas, you'll get new power-ups, you'll defeat a bunch of enemies, then you'll get like a mini boss sort of guy who's like an eyeball kind of floating like about like that, and once you kill him, it's like and you can go hunting that enemy. even when you're hunting them, it's fucking scary because he's still coming towards you. Because what happens is when your Amiga cannon's charged, you point it and it kind of goes 2.5D. So Samus is looking like this.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, it
And
looks
it's like,
fucking cool.
but the Emmy's still coming towards you, and what you have to do is overheat its face plating, the four piece of armor, so it comes off. So then you can charge the beam. So what you have to do is shoot it, overheat it. If you don't time it right and it doesn't overheat as it gets to you, you have to just run and then try and get another long area. But some of these fuckers can jump on the roof, they can jump to the side. The one that I'm currently, I don't want to tell you what type of stunt it is because I don't want anyone listening really getting annoyed that he's got a sort of stun, so I can be running away from him, because if you see him you can still escape, you just have to run fast as fuck.
Yeah.
It will catch up to you though, it's not like it runs at the same speed, you just have to be accurate with jumps. You fuck up a jump, you might as well give up. I will say the one good thing about this game is if the enemy kills you, you start at the door that you entered the enemy zone, so it's not like you've lost a lot of progress, because exploring the enemy zone is pointless until you've killed the enemy, because that enemy's just going to come after you. So the enemy zone's just, I need to get to this door because I know I need to get to that area, so I need to go diagonally right, or I need to go diagonally left, or diagonally bottom, and you just focus on that. Once the enemy's dead, then you can explore. So when the enemy kills you, you appear, you're outside the last door, so it's not like old Metroid where it'd be like, where was your last save, fucker? It's not like that. Same for boss fights, which is a good thing, because I just thought, minor spoiler again, the Chozo are in this, and they're the ones that raised Samus. They're the kind of Egyptian bird-looking robot things. I fought a Chozo soldier last night, and it took me ages to beat him. And now they're kind of a frequent enemy. So, like, this thing took me 2 hours. Like, this game's fucking hard. Like, I seen like RGT85 and Spawnwave and all these guys cover it, and they said, this is a hard game. Like, Metroid was never hard. Sometimes it took a while to figure out enemy patterns and figure out where you were going. But this kind of, I'm not talking Soulsborne, but this ups the, oh, hold on, this thing's fucking nailing me every time. I've just got to cheese it or figure out a different way. Your boss fights are like, those returning bosses is all I'll say spoiler wise that way, and some of those fucked me up, even though it was kind of similar patterns as a flashback to like Metroid 1/Zero Mission, which is the first one, or Samus Returns, which are the only two I finished Metroid Zero Mission, which is the first one. I wouldn't ever go back and play the first one now because the remake's better. And I've played a chunk of Samus Returns on the 3DS. This game's incredible though, like the backgrounds, like for a 2.5D game, biomes, as the cool kids say now, but each area or biome is completely different, from sound effects to like noises to like what's going on in the background to the music. Everything feels like, oh, I am in a whole new area here. It's really well done. I love everything about this game. I'm enjoying going, and sometimes it's a fucking chore. You can be on like level 5 and you're like, there's no fast travel in this game, of course, so you just have to make your way back to whatever.
Yeah.
And it is worth it, because, as I said to Andy, I was like, I don't have enough fucking missiles to beat this guy. So, like, I spent like a good hour and instead of just going back one and exploring, I made my way back to the first area and went to places that I'm like, right, okay, this is the sort of game where, like, having a notepad wouldn't be laughed at if you went, right, okay, sometimes you'll see a door twice as high, and you'll know Samus has got a power up down the line to double jump. Right, so see if you could like write down area 1 high jump, tick, like, and list all your high jump area places where there's a high jump, so there's an item there. So you could just go back and go, right, I've got the high jump, right, I need to go back here, here, and here, explore those areas because I know that there's bits that I missed. I didn't do that, and now I'm at this point where I'm like, I can feel the end is near, because I know, like, I'm currently on the 5th Emmy, so I know there's 2 more. I haven't got the Amiga cannon powered up to beat this enemy yet, but I think that's because I've not got a piece of equipment needed to fight the boss in that area to beat the enemy. And like I said, by bosses, I mean this is like a jelly head, like Doom guy with one eye, and there's cannons in the corner shooting at you, and you have to kind of dodge, jump, shoot him, get your Amiga powered up. But there's also like big bosses, like not Emmy, just other bosses as well in this game. The game's fucking tricky. Like, some of the jumps are like almost like Super Meat Boy, you fuck up, you're dead jumps. And other times it makes you feel super cool because like, oh my god, I can't believe I just survived that. Like there was at one point where I was using my grapple gun, sorry spoiler, but that is a power up to get somewhere. The Emmy came in
Yeah.
and I was above water and I slowly fell down in water. I was like, no! This is the Emmy that I told you that's got the stun move that kind of bing and you like freeze for a second and I'm like, oh my god, wake up Samus. And he was coming towards me, he seen red, minor spoiler. I forgot I had this because I went, no! And I clicked R3 on the Switch Pro because I've been playing a lot of this on the TV, which speaks volumes for this game. A 2D game that's playing this well on a 55-inch 4K. Honestly, and I'm a big fan of the Hori Switch pad. I've just bought a Switch OLED for fuck's sake, do you know what I mean? And I've played 90% of this game on my telly. It is that nice. That's why I said to you, Andy, please, when you get it, play it in the telly at least once. So, I'm 7 hours in at this point. 7 hours in. Which, the good thing about this game, Andy, like, it's probably longer because it doesn't count when you pause and look at the map. Like, that's not counted as game time because I looked that up.
Yeah.
And it was it said no, when you pause the game or you're in the menu screen, it doesn't count that. It's only when you're actually moving as Samus.
Yeah, that's cool.
And there is several times, Andy, where I have paused and went, where the I need to get here. Do you know what this made me miss? The Wii U.
The Wii U.
Do you know why? Because see when
Why?
I played Metroid Zero Mission there, Andy, I had my Wii U Pro controller. I had the game on my TV, and I had the gamepad in front of me with the map at all times, so I could just go, oh yeah, oh that's interesting. I can go there instead of having to go pause there and then unpause. I forgot where I just need to go. Like, and I end up like examining this map for so long that I'm like, head up and right, just do that, and then I'm like, I'm in the right bit, unpause. Like I said on Friday, my hands sometimes feel like they're turning into claws with the amount of different button combinations you need. Like, I'm feeling its version on Street Fighter 2 at this point because you're getting most of Samus's standard moves. You know, like you get Morph Ball, your bombs. I won't go into too much detail because I don't want spoilers. But then you've also got these kind of new twists on the moves and things like that, and it's really fucking cool. It's definitely going into Samus lore, like proper, like explaining some things that were either never thought about or never explained. But I don't think you need to play the other games. I said this before. I don't think you need to play them to get this game, which is a good thing. I think this is a very much a jumping on point. But I definitely want to play the other games now. Like Kieran RGT85, who's finished the other games, he said this is the hardest Metroid. And now that I've put this much into this game, I'm like, I was struggling with Samus Returns before, and he's actually right. There's parts of this that are way more difficult than that game, which is literally room to room hunt the Metroid. This is like, I will fuck you up if you misstep, boy. That's what this game is. And some bits I struggle with, and every so often I'll go, I am done with this. I am sitting it down. And then I text Andy and say, hurry up and get Metroid, because like I need somebody to... I think this would have been a good... I'm kind of glad that I'm at this stage so that when you get stuck at bits, I'm like... That's easy, and I can tell you, so I can gloat. I'm not joking, but well, you know I will gloat. But it would have been a cool game.
I am the one true gamer god. Thank you. I have completed Bloodborne.
Well,
I am
so
following you in Dark Souls spoilers.
You keep saying that you finished Bloodborne, but no one's witnessed it. There's no video evidence, which is the strangest thing I've ever heard in history. When like I've seen you take video clips of like Tomb Raider things, like weird things for no reason, but you finish Bloodborne and you don't clip that anyway. We won't keep digging into that one because it's embarrassing for Andy that he didn't finish it. But
I did finish it.
Metroid Dread, back to a game that I'm actually going to finish. This is one of those games that I haven't had for a while. Like, you know, it takes a lot for me to not jump onto another game, to not like fire up Avengers for the night and just go, fuck it, I'm not in the mood to play that. I have played Metroid Dread and nothing else since it came out. Like, and everyone's like, yeah, it just came out on Friday, Ali. But for me, this means this is the game. This is a big game. This is the one. If nothing has detracted my attention, and when I'm away from this game, I'm like, oh yeah, there was a door in that last area, and I keep going, where's my fucking Switch? I just need to jump a few, and I'll go to the save area just before that boss, and I'll save there because I know the item I need is up there now. Honestly, this is the perfect Metroid 2D game. This is amazing. I really hope that we get a Metroid 6 after this, because obviously this is Metroid 5. Even though they say this is the end of Matt Samus's arc, things seem to be ramping up. Like, I don't want to go into, because there is a story in this game, very much a story. I don't even want to spoil certain things that happen in cutscenes, but like, I'm now more intrigued than ever was. Like, I always thought Samus was cool. I always thought the kind of Metroid idea was awesome. It was kind of a twist in the alien thing where the Metroids were the parasite, and then Metroid Fusion brought the X, which could take over, destroy the Metroids, and they can be absorbed by Samus because of stuff that happened to her body. And like, this game though is upped it, and it's like, holy shit, yeah, I'm really into this. Like, and it's the whole Shozo kind of Egyptian, like, futuristic mythology, kind of almost Assassin's Creed God style stuff going on. You know, when you go into the, I can't remember what area it is. It's either in Egypt or Ezio goes there, and you know when you can see all the cool like neon and shit, and all the gods are there. That's the sort of stuff going on here, and I'm like, yeah, this is awesome. I need more of this in my veins, and I'm kind of getting the feeling, because in this one you're working up to the ship, and like, as a whole, like, I'm about a quarter of a way from where the ship is, and like the last briefing I had from Adam, who's your ship's AI, who's based off your old commander from Other M, I think. He's like, there is no way he's all the way he's made me feel like a piece of shit. He's like, you can't beat this guy, you can't beat this guy. I know I can't beat the guy, but now he's like, now more than ever, it is pertinent that you make your way back to your ship. I'm like, yeah, no shit. And he goes, I hope to see you here soon. So that's what I mean by endgame. And I kind of get this ominous feeling about the next area. So I'm like, I don't know if this is the point of no return yet. This is the first time I've played this game. So at the moment, I've now got more powers than I had ever in the first 3 areas. So there's going to be plenty of places that I've never been to. So I'm going to go back to area 1. So this is kind of my tactic, is like, beat the boss, clean up, and then go back an area and do some things. And like, I've fought 2 of those Chozo soldiers that messed me up bad last night. So I've kind of got their pattern down to a point. But knowing this game, the next one I'll face will have the same pattern, but then an extra move that I'll need to... Like, it's almost like it says every attack is avoidable, but you just need to see the visual cues. So like, you've got a chance to parry every single thing in this game, but if you miss that window, you're fucked. You know, and some of them don't have a visual like bing on the screen. Some of them you just have to time it. Really great game. I'm loving the way that I love her armor. I love the way their armor looks with that white in it now. I think this is one of the best games I've played in the Switch. This is up there with Breath of the Wild, and I'm saying that now. I'm saying that right now. This is up there with Breath of the Wild, which is, for me, Breath of the Wild is one of my best games of all time. This, for a Switch game, is up there with Breath of the Wild, which therefore puts this up on top 20 games at least. This will make me reanalyse my list, put it that way. It might be higher than 20, maybe 15. I'm not sure. I'm not saying this is 15, but I'm saying this game's going to be up there. If it continues this, I have no worries about it, not because of the stellar reviews it got, even though I don't read reviews, but when I see reviews pairing up with what I'm playing, I'm like, these reviews are spot on. Like, the music, the atmosphere, the gameplay, the exploration. I'm not even hating going back and finding stuff, because I'm like, yeah, I'm going to fuck that guy up that knocked me off that ledge before, because I can double jump now. You're coming down, Spider Squid. So, yeah, I really like it. And every time you constantly feel a sense of progression. Yes, there's parts where you're fucking lost. Yes, there's parts where like an Emmy's grabbed you and wasted you like 16 times, and you're like, fuck this game. But it is an amazing, amazing, amazing game. I cannot wait for you to play it. Like, I think everybody should experience this. If you've got a Switch, play this game. And I've only played one more game, but I'll touch on that briefly after Andy's talked about his stuff. But Metroid Dread, man, there is not a game announced to come out this year that will top this for me at the moment. As much as I'm going to love Guardians of the Galaxy in a couple of weeks, Guardians is getting bought physical because it's a one and done. Even though I bought Metroid physical, I'm taking Andy's advice for Guardians because it's not got an online component like Avengers afterwards, where it's worth keeping. So he's 100% right for that. But see, Metroid, it's almost at that, it's a delicious stage that I want to play New Game Plus. Like, there's certain things that I want to play because I seen, and this was a spoiler, and they call it sequence skipping because I've been watching a lot of Metroid lore. So basically, see if you manage to get an item before you're meant to, you can advance quicker, right? So I was watching a video on this. I'm like, oh, cool. And then I watched a review on Metroid on. Can't remember. It wasn't something I'm usually watching. It popped up on my YouTube recommended. I went, yeah, cool. I'll watch your review of Metroid. It said spoiler free, and technically it was, unless you've played it to a certain point and you see him fighting a boss, and you're like, you don't have that item yet. So it's showing you that you could sequence skip to do something to a boss, and it was like, oh my god, that's a whole new cutscene. That's a whole new way of beating the boss. I'm like, this is fucking awesome. If I could have done that to that fucking boss the first time, I would have had a great time in that level. So yeah. I'm not meaning picking it up and playing it straight away, but I have no qualms about owning this digital now at this stage. I don't believe everyone's like, oh, there'll be DLC. DLC is not something that Metroid will have. I don't believe.
I don't think they've ever done DLC before, have they?
They'd never done DLC for Zelda before either until Breath of the Wild, when you think of it that way. So.
True.
But I would put Metroid. I would put Metroid in a different cat. I don't think it is. Metroid's almost a AAA indie for Nintendo. Do you know that way? It's kind of is one of their main franchises, but I can't see it getting DLC. I think the Metroid teams are too busy on Metroid Prime 4 and probably the trilogy, because I reckon what will happen is, obviously the rumour just now is we're getting a remake of Prime 1 instead of the trilogy remastered. I'm fine with either, but we're going to get Prime next year at some point. Like, we're going to get either Prime 1 or the trilogy. Because I think the year after it's going to be Prime 4. I think that's the way they're going to work it. And I think with the so far success, Metroid being the best-selling Metroid game in the UK already, like of all of them, I think they're going to get a Metroid 6 out of this. I think this was can we do this still? Metroid 5? Look, because I was surprised when it got announced. No one expected this game whatsoever. Yeah. And I think with the response, the marketing's not been too heavy, but it's been just enough to go, and it's just lucky coincidence, because I don't believe it's planned, that the fucking Switch OLED controllers are the same colour as the Emmy. Like,
they definitely fucking planned that 100%.
Andy, they didn't, because there's only one Emmy in the game that's white and black. I think what they've done is, sorry, that's a spoiler. What they've done is they've cleverly shown that Emmy in most of the trailers.
Yeah. So it's more the marketing. Then they've tied Metroid to the Switch OLED, rather than the other way about.
Why wouldn't you? Yeah. It's your franchise and your console. Why wouldn't you? But it's just genius, because I look at my Switch and it's almost like they could have easily thrown a Samus ball and the Samus symbol in the back of this and called it a special edition, and had the black and the red and blue, like the white and black. It's so perfect. Everything about that, the right time, the right place. It's came out at the right window just before the Calls of Duties and the Battlefields and the Halos come out. You've got this Metroid game, and a lot of folk are jumping onto it and really liking it. And I'm so glad, because I've kind of had I was never a SNES NES guy, as you know, Andy. So like my first Metroid was Metroid Prime on probably the Wii, and I believe it was the GameCube version I had. So I played it with controller. I never finished it. But I thought, this is fucking cool. This is really cool. So my first 2D Metroid was, I think, I'm lying. I had Metroid 2 in the Game Boy. That was my first Metroid. Never finished it. I'm talking green and black Game Boy. Like, I had Metroid 2 in the Game Boy. The first real time I played it was Super Metroid on, like, was it Game Boy Advance 2DS, one of those? I played it on that, and I was like, I don't have a fucking clue what this... I didn't understand the game type at that time. I was like, this isn't Sonic. I thought it was a platformer with a shooty spaceman. Get it off my system. So realistically, the first Metroid I finished... No, in fact, not realistically. Truthfully, it was Metroid Zero Mission last year on the Wii U, because I picked that up. Fantastic game, by the way. I really wish they'd package Zero Mission Fusion, the 3DS Samus Returns, and Super Metroid on, like, 1 to 4 on one Switch package. I'll pay 40, 50 quid for that.
It would make sense.
100% it makes sense. So they've got options.
They are doing things like that, because they did just on the Castlevania Advance Collection coming out, so they could do that with Metroid. Yeah,
they did. Because the original one was the Castlevania Anniversary package. I think I got that one. But this one's the Castlevania Advance one, which is just the Game Boy Advance game. So yeah, there's a chance for Metroid. Because it doesn't look like we're getting that as a system now. I mean, if you could sell it to us, they should have sold this to us already. I said this before. They should have done 1 to 4 on a pack, or Zero Mission, whatever way you want to sell it to us, and just give it to us. Like, people will pay you money for this, like, happily. To play them all on one console as well. So see if you did those, and then you did the Prime trilogy, and then you did 4, then the Switch is the place to go to play all the Metroid games. Like, that's amazing to me. Yep. But anyway, yes, talking about Metroid Dread, it's just a beautiful game. It's a joy to play, and it's a fucking ball-ache to play at the same time. I'm not gonna lie, but it's not one of those games where I'm like, okay, I need to walk away from this because fuck this game, like Dark Souls. This is more of a fuck this game, and sometimes in Dark Souls it's unfair. It's kind of a tough love situation where this guy's gonna fuck you up. Try it all you like, sunshine. See, in Metroid, 8 or 9 times out of 10, it's your fault, or you don't have the right suit. Only 1 out of 10 times I would say is it's just unfair. It's just bullshit. In fact, I don't even know if I've encountered that. I'd say 50-50. It's your fault for fucking up, or you don't have the right, like, power up to do that area. Yeah, that's what I would say about Metroid. So it's more you're annoyed with yourself rather than the game, because this is my lead in for your Dark Souls. When I was last playing Dark Souls, which is, I'm not comparing Metroid Dread to Dark Souls at all. It's just more of a challenge than the other Metroid games. Dark Souls, like the Taurus demon, whatever his name is that you're going to talk about, spoilers. When he fucked me off the side of the bridge, I flipped my controller and went, oh fuck this. Like, when you don't even have time to react, like, he was right behind the fucking door and went boof. Then I'm like, those 0 things I could have done in that situation whatsoever. So, I have one more game to talk about, and I'll talk about it. It's smaller than Metroid Dread, but Metroid Dread, get this game, lovely game. Andy, please do tell the lovely listeners and me what you have been playing this week.
So I'm going to dovetail off your talking about your Metroid, because I did not buy Metroid Dread, but I did charge my Switch, Ali. I did charge my Switch, because I've been waiting to get a hold of a copy of Metroid Dread, but I've been enjoying getting your messages about Metroid. So I'm like, I want to play some Metroid. So I've
been enjoying my messages of Andy going by fucking Metroid. I'm stuck. Never mind. I'm past that bit.
Yeah, it's funny. But I'm like, like, he seems to be really interested, like, this game. I want to play some Metroid. But obviously I've got Nintendo Switch Online, so I've got access to Super Metroid, and I've never finished Super Metroid.
No.
So I'm like, I'll go and play Super Metroid whilst I wait to get hold of the other one.
Awesome.
So I've been playing that. I've beat like the first 2 bosses, and I've done a couple of power ups. Like I've got the morph ball, I've got the bombs, I've got the missile.
Are you playing this handheld, yeah?
Enjoying it. Oh yeah, definitely.
Because that obviously, for people that don't know, and they're new to Metroid and they're new to gaming, hi, why are you watching us? There's better people up there, but like, subscribe, share, and stay here. Don't go to all those better people I just mentioned. Super Metroid was known as one of the best games of all time. It was always up there with like Resident Evil 4 and stuff, as you know. But up until now, there's a lot of people turning on Super Metroid was always known as the best Metroid game. Metroid Dread is getting a lot of people saying it's better.
Yeah, it probably will. But like for this game, like I played it back in the day, like a wee bit, like 20 odd years ago, whenever it was out. And I liked the visuals of it, but I could never get into the gameplay. Much like yourself, like I was into Sonic, and
well, you were a Sega kid. Your brother was Nintendo. You were lucky enough to have both, but my brother wasn't a gamer because I kept saying, "Get the Nintendo, Stuart." But I would say, arguably over here, I heard more about Super Metroid from friends than I did about Zelda. In this, where I'm from,
it was total opposite for me and my friends back in the day. Like I had people talking about Zelda and never Metroid.
Really?
Like, I think we'd maybe like one other guy that talked about Metroid, and we played it, and like, my brother liked it enough, but like I didn't like it back in the day. But so like I played it a bit, but like this is my first time making any real progress in it, and like I'd booted it up when it first came to the Switch Online platform, and I'd done the first bit where you fight Riddler or whatever.
Yeah.
Go
to
the
planet
spaceship. Yeah. So I've done that bit, and then now I'm going through and I've beat like I think I beat 2 more bosses from there and got a few of the power ups and gone all the way down and come all the way back up and all the way down and all the way back up and gone to the side and gone to the side. And yeah, I need to get it's just it was ringing so many bells with me there when you're talking about like going back to the areas and like then seeing other areas where I'm like, oh, there's like a high bit up there like that I can't get to right now. Like
Yeah.
I'll keep that in my head for later when I've got some sort of high jump type power.
Yep. And I wish I'd took
yeah,
a notebook. Like, so see when I go to play Super Metroid, which I've never really touched, I'm actually going to pen and paper. I'm not going to lie. I'm going to write it in my notes on my phone going, Area 1, high jump, and list all the things so that I can know where to go back to.
Yeah. I don't know how long this game is, but like I'm only maybe like an hour. Yeah, probably only an hour or so into it. But like it grabbed my attention because like I was just playing it in bed the other night. While I was watching something, and like Ashley was watching. We were watching Chicago Fire, and I'm just sitting playing. Like I just put this on to like play casually, and Ashley's like, "Look at this fire," and I'm like, "But I'm just trying to kill this boss." She's like, "Look at it," and I'm like, "No."
No, I don't have the various suit, so I can't go in fire.
Yeah, no, that was cool. Like, it's the first game I've played on Switch in 6 months plus.
Easily, yeah.
It's actually, well, in fact, it's the first game that's that's made me want to even pick up my Switch in 6 months. So, a round of applause to old Metroid.
Yeah, good for
who's
that.
rescued the Switch for me, and more so than new Metroid because I will pick that up and play it, but
You know, like,
but I have not picked it yet.
it's even more of a shame. Like, this is what I mean. Like, Zero Mission should be available to buy. Like, Nintendo could push a button tonight and sell it for $6.99 tomorrow, and people would buy the shit out of it right now. Like, why don't they do that? And like Fusion, unless you've got a Wii U, the only way to play it is a Game Boy Advance. Like, without messing about with emulators and all that nonsense. Like, if you want to play it on your screen, on your telly, Game Boy Advance and Wii U is the only way to officially buy it. Right? Why? Like, just give us the option to buy it and we will pay for it. Like, those are good games. Like, Fusion, I didn't really know anything about Fusion until I finished Zero Mission and went, I want more Metroid now. And then obviously I went, oh, hold on, I've still got my Samus 3DS under my bed with, with Metroid on it. And that is a great game. But again, like, much better. Like, and this whole story is like Samus discovers the Metroids, and then in Metroid 2 she goes to destroy all the Metroids, but there's a baby left, and then Super Metroid, I don't know, the Space Pirates come and take the baby Metroid away from Samus, and then in Fusion she gets infused with shit and she can soak up the X-Parasite. So it's a cool story. And I was going to ask you, did you ever play the Prime games? Have you, like I said earlier, I've only played one. I've never touched 2 or 3. I owned them all at one point. I'm pretty sure I had the trilogy on Wii.
You did, yeah, on the Wii, yeah. I've played Metroid Prime 1 on the GameCube, and I've played Metroid Prime 3, I think, Corruption, on the Wii. And I did not like either of them.
No.
Nope. But I played them for maybe like an hour each.
Would you give them another shot if they came to Switch?
Yes, because they have because we have modern day controls now, where first person shooters are actually playable instead of like the old ways of first person shooters.
Well, yes. And
the
funny thing is, the guy that made Metroid said it wouldn't be possible on the current controls, and it's like, are you insane? It came out in the GameCube with controls anyway. Like, they always had controls. They actually put motion controls in it for the Wii. So there would be no problem with actual button controls. The only one they would need to redo is Metroid 3, which was done in the Wii. But they made it work for Skyward Sword, which the whole thing was based around you waggling all the time. Like, it won't be as difficult to map, like, up, down, left, right to a controller, because you're not having to, like, do slashes or anything. You know, it's just movement that was linked to the movement. So...
yeah, so I played a bit of that, which I really enjoyed, and that was fun.
Awesome.
I stayed up too late playing that, to be honest.
And the season's Friday, I've been up late with Metroid, and then I've had to leave my new Switch downstairs because I'm like, I ain't taking up to bed, and I'm not getting to sleep. So
yeah, it's a good shout. But yeah, so I did also play more Life is Strange: True Colors. So this, I think I was, I don't know, 2 episodes in maybe on Friday, maybe 3. But I did finish it over the weekend and finished it yesterday, I think, or maybe on Sunday. Um, yeah, no, finished it on Sunday. Played the remaining episodes and completed the game. Went back through, did all the miscellaneous trophies, got the platinum trophy. That's a great fucking game. Like that, that game is probably better than Life is Strange 1. Honestly, it's got better story. The characters are at least on par. Like Chloe and Max are great characters, but the this kind of all the other characters that are in the game are not as well fleshed out in Life is Strange 1. In this one, they do a lot more with the side characters. Aside from Alex is the main character, and then you've got Steph, and you've got Ryan, you've got Gabe, you've got Jed. Like, I know all these people's fucking names and like what their story is and everything. The worlds and the characters that they put into this were really cool, and I really enjoyed like getting immersed into it. And like I'd kind of skipped through the first episode, the first chapter anyway, because it's not an episodical game. This is just a one and done. I think they might put it out episodically, afterwards to try and sell more, because I don't think it's sold that well, but. But I kind of skipped through the first chapter, like just because I didn't really know the characters that well, and I was like, "Yeah, this is fine." And like, I know what Life is Strange is. I don't need to go around clicking on every single thing. But I found this, like, as I grew into the game and as I got more invested in the characters, I was going around and clicking on every single fucking thing I could see. Like, and that I remember doing that in Life is Strange episode 1 and maybe 2. And then after that, it kind of lost its novelty. But like in this one, like I wanted to like hear the characters like dialogue about every single thing, because like I just wanted to be totally immersed in that world. It was awesome. As I said before, the power worked great. That LARP episode was really cool. It just totally mixed up the gameplay and everything. And I like the way they kind of like wrapped it up in like episode 4 and 5. There was like a conspiracy and it got solved, and then there was outcomes, and then you had a kind of big final choice at the end. Which I'll not spoil for people, because I know that it's quite a new game still, so people might want to still play through it without the spoilers. But like, I can fucking highly recommend that. It was great. And literally, like, the only thing that I didn't like about the game was the 30 frames a second lock. Like, every single other thing in the game was fantastic. Like, gameplay great, story great, all the choices great, characters were awesome, the acting was all brilliant. Yeah, like, easily, like, it's probably the closest that I've seen to like a 10 out of 10 game in a long time. Apart from that fucking 30 frames a second lock, which they could patch that out. If they patched that out and like made it 60, like, I might be tempted to play again just to see what it looked like. But yeah, so I absolutely loved the main game. So after I played the game, did all the trophies, I was like, oh, there's DLC just come out for it. Like, I enjoy that game so much, I need to buy the DLC. So like I bought the DLC, and like, bearing in mind I've played and completed Life is Strange 1, Before the Storm, the Captain Awesome, like single episode thing, plus Life is Strange 2. I've completed all of them. So like, this is a series that I'm quite invested in. So I'm like, cool, I'll buy the DLC. Came out like end of September there. It was weird how you have to buy it, because you have to buy it through the game, right? I didn't like the way you had to buy the DLC. Like, this is like, aside from the 30 frames a second lock, this is the only bad thing about the game, and it's all related to the DLC. So to buy the DLC, you have to go into the game, choose like buy Steph episode, right? And you okay, and you go. It takes you to a store page, and you buy the episode. It's £10, right? £9.99. Which I'll talk about the price in a minute. So you buy that, and then it's like, you go back to the main menu, and it says like installing and whatever. You go back to the main menu, and it says buy Steph DLC, and you're like, right, okay, but I just bought it. Like, click on it, and it takes you to the store page, and it says like installed. I'm like, okay, right, well, I'll close the game, start it again. Maybe it needs to like refresh or whatever. Did that, went back in, option still says buy Steph DLC, and like, still takes me to the store page, and it still says installed. Like, oh, that's weird. Like, why can't I access the content that I just bought from within your game in your game? But it turns out what you have to do is, after you've done that bit, you have to go into the store, like the main store on the PlayStation 5 page, and go and search for Life is Strange Wavelengths, and then there's a new thing you can download for free that unlocks the Steph DLC for you in the game. Like, that's fucking convoluted and stupid as fuck. Like, if you're allowing me just to buy it in the game, just let me pay for it, buy it in the game, and be done. Like, just let me play it. Because it downloaded it and said it was installed, but it sort of wasn't. Like, really weird. But anyway, I played the DLC as well. In the DLC, you play as Steph, who's like one of the sort of potential love interests in the game. You can be with like you can kind of be with Steph or Ryan in the game. You can kind of choose. But I chose to be with Steph because she was cooler. But you get to play as Steph in this one, and Steph's actually a character from Life is Strange Before the Storm, who you meet. She's a very minor character in that game, but they've chose to kind of spin her out and put her into this game and give her a bit of backstory as to how she ended up here. And it basically fills in the gap from like Life is Strange Before the Storm to like Life is Strange True Colors for Steph and her character arc. Which is really cool. Like, I like the way they did it because basically she's like a DJ in the town. So she's a DJ. The DJ booth is like in the back of a record shop. So she's a record shop manager and she's a DJ on a DJ booth. So you're like sort of running the DJ booth. So you can like talk into the microphone and you can you have to read ads and you have to take phone calls from people calling in, like listeners. And you can choose to a certain extent some of the music that gets played as well, which is all cool. And that part is all done in first person, where you're just like at this like big desk, like we are just now, and we've got like a monitor in front of us, we've got a microphone, and we've got like a mixing desk and whatnot. And I liked all that aspect of it. It was really cool. And then she's also like she's newly single, having just broke up with her girlfriend. And she's like on these dating apps, so like on her phone she's got like this dating app, and you can like swipe left and right on people and match with people, and you can message them back and forth and whatnot. And you can arrange to meet up with them, but it doesn't show you anything else, because the weird thing about this game is that there's only one person in the whole episode, like the whole DLC. It's just Steph. Like, there's no other people in it. You will like speak to people on the phone when they call in and stuff, and like sometimes she'll call somebody, or have like a video chat with her friend. But there's only like she's the only character that's modelled in the game. So like when you go outside the DJ booth, there's some tasks to complete in the record store. Oh my god, that's disgusting. Ali is eating horrible popcorn right now. He's stuffed his mouth with popcorn. It is horrible. But anyway, she's the only character that you see in the game. So like you see her wandering about and like doing things in the record store and that, but no one ever comes into the record store. You never have to serve any customers or anything. She's just working away doing bits and pieces, which is weird. And I don't know why they did it that way, but like it feels strange. But I also kind of understand it, and like they've obviously gone for that vibe of a kind of like they've put her as this kind of like lonely person she's come into this like new town and being like an outsider. And yes, she's made friends, but when she's here at work, she's like in a kind of like locked off, lonely space. And I liked that sort of vibe. Like, it was a totally different vibe to like the way that the main game is and the way that other Life is Strange games have been before, because it's always been about like interacting with other people and conversations that you have. And okay, the conversations are still there in this game, but they've just like made them very lonely. But then, like, when you complete it at the end of the game, it ties straight into Life is Strange True Colors. It takes you straight up to the point where Alex comes in to the record store and meets Steph for the first time. And yeah, I really like the way that they did all that. And you would probably like the DLC better than the main game because like there's no people involved, and you're just like, oh my god, and you're just like a radio show host. And
That's
like,
my dream. No people involved, just hosting the radio.
Yeah,
I don't mind if you're involved, but no one else.
Yeah. Like, yeah, obviously, as I say, she does have to talk to people like that call in and stuff now and again. But that's it. Like, there's no other like people involved in that game. But yeah, I like the DLC. One issue that I had with the DLC, and it was £10, right? And it took me about 3 hours to complete it. And I think I did pretty much all the
Took
content
you
that was in
about
it.
3 hours to cover it as well.
Oh, it was good. But it was £10. But the issue that I had with it was there was no trophies in the DLC. No trophies.
Fucking shut up. Take your cool little pings back to 2005 and folk gave a fuck about them.
Oh, yeah, okay, fair enough. But like,
Pro
like,
gamer,
I like
my
trophies.
hole.
I like trophies. and
I
that.
turned mine off, as you know, a long time ago, and I remember your flip out in this show. How can you turn them off? I'm like, because it just annoys me when they come up.
But I did go through. I did complete the game, and I did everything. I'm sure I did absolutely everything that there was to do within that.
Is this another Bloodborne situation when you didn't really finish it? Because
I did finish it. I planned the main game. I bought the DLC, and I completed the DLC and did all the things in it.
okay, I'll believe you
it
in
was
that
excellent.
one.
I absolutely loved it. And
I'll,
it's not
I'll
a hard.
believe you in this one.
Like Life is Strange True Colors is not a hard game. Like none of the Life is Strange games are hard. And they're not hard to platinum either. Like they're good actually for people that enjoy the collectible aspect because they let you go back and like chapter select within the chapters as well. So you can jump back into any point and replay bits and do different choices if you want. And it doesn't affect your like main save or whatever. But yeah, I absolutely love that game, man. Fucking brilliant.
I've got a question,
Fantastic.
like a proper question. You have to say like, go ahead, Ali. Fuck to that.
Go ahead, Ali from Fuck to Level 1.
Yeah, thanks, Andy. Obviously I didn't listen for the past 10 minutes because I've been eating popcorn. Have these games at any point changed, like from the original kind of thing? Like, if you compare like Back to the Future Telltale or Jurassic Park to like Guardians of the Galaxy, but it's almost bordering on third-person action adventure. That was a change in the Telltale games. I played the first one of these, and these were kind of, they were more open than the Telltale games. You could walk about anyway and such like. Have these evolved much more from the original game in that sense, or is it kind of more of the same but more good stuff? Thanks.
It is more of the same, but it is. Thanks for your question, Ali. It's more of the same, but it's definitely more open. The map area that you've got in the sort of main town is much bigger. You can walk in and out a bunch of the shops, and there's tons of like other wee bits and nooks and crannies that you can look at and investigate and pick up wee collectibles and stuff like that. So it's much bigger than the original games, like the areas you explore. So I like the choices and stuff like that are all still there, and like they have some very binary choices in it where it's like you pick this or you pick this, and they're like sort of the polar opposites of each other. Like, and that kind of is like how the story sort of plays out. But they still, I would imagine, it still takes you to the same end point where you've got like you can do this one thing or you can then do this one thing, and they're obviously going to go with the canon for one of those, which I would assume would be like basically the end choice is like you leave town or you stay in town. Like that's without really spoiling anything at all. But like I would imagine that the canon choice is probably that you leave town and go off and have another adventure, and they'll make a sequel to that effect. And I think it'd be awesome. I'd love to see more of these characters. Because yeah, they kind of show you what the ending would be if you stay in town at the end, which is cool. But like the other ending, like is more appealing to me. They do ask you for the Wavelengths DLC, I think it was, what your ending was for Life is Strange 1. Because in Life is Strange 1, you could either save
like
Chloe or save the town.
Yeah.
So they, rather than pulling your save file or whatever, they're just like, which choice did you make at the end? Did you save Chloe or did you save the town? Or I think it actually just asks you, did you save Arcadia Bay? And I'm like, nope, I saved Chloe because Chloe was fucking cool. And then there's some like dialogue stuff in it and Wavelengths with Chloe, which was cool. And I'm sure it's the original voice actress that played her as well. And obviously that's not going to be there if you chose the other way about. If you chose that you chose to save the town, because you would be dead. Consequently, there's also some dialogue with your friend who was from Before the Storm, who's obviously from Arcadia Bay as well. And he plays some like Dungeons and Dragons games with him, like through webcam. And you kind of chat back and forward about like the sort of big storm that happened. And I would imagine that would be different if, because they talk about like a bunch of people dying and stuff. And that would be very different if you said that you chose to save the town in Life is Strange 1. But yeah, I absolutely love this series, and like this is probably the best one yet. So highly recommend it, and you could easily go into it without knowing any of the backstory of it either. Like it's like connected enough for like fans of the series like me, but it's also disconnected enough for newcomers to be able to easily get into it. And yeah, it's a great story, great characters, and the lips are good, Ali. The lips are good. Like the lip sync is good. The graphics are not amazing, but the lip sync is pretty good. One of the best ones I've seen for this type of game, anyway. Like it's not quite Hellblade, but like it's definitely getting there. So yeah, I finished that. Then I jumped back to Dark Souls Remastered. Been playing a bit more of that. As I've said for October, I'm going to be trying to play more kind of like not scary games, but like October themed games. So like Dark Souls is kind of spooky game, spoopy.
There's nothing spooky about it.
There's skeletons in it. Millions of skeletons.
Andy, it's high
Skeletons
fantasy.
are very associated. They're very associated with Halloween. Skeletons. There are many, and there are dragons and.
It's not
things.
scary.
Skeletons. Skeletons equal Halloween. That's
Metroid Dread. Scary bits.
That's scary. Yeah.
There is actual
yes.
bits in it. Not jump scares, but oh my god, he's gonna kill me.
I've made some progress in Dark Souls Remastered now. I beat the boss that you got stuck at, which was the Taurus demon. The Taurus demon, I had to look up how to beat him because like
let me see.
A big fucking.
He is an optional boss. It doesn't affect the game.
Well, see, I don't think he is optional. Like in
Google it. Don't argue with me. Just Google it. Just Google it because he is optional.
No, I get that, but like I think you'd have to do some sort of weird walkaround because like the next bonfire is like through him basically.
There's another one.
No, but anyway, like
there is another.
Anyway, he basically like this guy is. You go through like a doorway, and there's a big giant bridge, and then you walk along halfway across the bridge. Giant fucking demon jumps down off another tower, plumps himself down, and he's got a giant like axe thing that he sort of swings around at you and jumps at you and stuff. But if you like, what I had to look up how to do this fight, but the way that you ended up doing it is like if you immediately turn around when you come out of the little tower bit, then up there's like a little ladder that takes you up to the top, so you can climb up that, and then you can kill 2 archers that are up there, so it gets rid of them, stops them from shooting you in the back when you try to fight this guy. And then what you do is you run over halfway across the bridge, it triggers the guy to drop down, so you run back, climb up, and then when he gets to the bottom, you jump down, smash him. And then I managed to do that a couple more times by like rolling around his legs and stuff, and eventually took him down. I did use like 5 health files fighting him though, because he was still quite tough for me to get through. But I beat him, and then got to like a bridge, and then a dragon came down, and there was a dragon, and it set the entire bridge on fire, and I died.
What level are you?
What
character level?
I think I'm like 17 or something now, something like that.
So I probably could beat him at this point. I just haven't.
You could definitely beat him, yeah. If you do that tactic, you could definitely beat him.
I wouldn't fight him.
Yes,
I might not pick this up again.
I went back. I did that I did that a couple of times, and I'm like, what the fuck is this dragon doing? So went back, found a little cubby hole to get down and hide in. Found my way around. Got a shortcut now to see where the wee bonfire is. The one that we'd kind of been going around and like spamming the enemies with.
Yeah.
There's a shortcut to that bonfire with a ladder that you kick down, so you can just from there just climb straight up on a ladder. And then that takes you right up underneath this bridge. And I'm like, awesome, like that's great. So then I can go up there, and then I managed to get past this dragon to the next bonfire, which is just after that. So I've stopped there for just now. I just did that earlier on today, so I'm making progress, and that is all that I want to be doing with Dark Souls at this point. Just making little bits of progress, chipping away at it, to try and get it finished before the end of the year. So I've got October, November, December. I've still got 2.5 months to finish this off. I think it's doable. I think I can do it.
I have my doubts.
I beat Bloodborne.
It took you 3, 4, 5 years to beat Bloodborne, and no one's seen the evidence of it apart from you
6
saying
years.
you've got a trophy for it, but no one's seen you do it. No one has got video evidence. Like, if this is what I can't understand. Like, when I beat a normal game, I'll be like, oh yes, capture. Andy knows very well where the share button is. It's very easy to press in the dual sense. It's just a click, as you know. So
I was,
it's
I was
very
just
difficult.
overwhelmed. I had
Overwhelmed to push a
I
button.
definitely-
No, you're not that dramatic.
I-
You're dramatic, but you're not that dramatic. So I don't know if you have or not. But yeah. Plus, you were 60% into the game already.
I've put in like 60 hours, 70 hours into
I never said you
Bloodborne
didn't,
this
but
year.
yeah, but you were
year.
already 40 odd hours into it, so it's not like you just started afresh.
And you said it was fine. Anyway, this game
I did say it was fine,
starting
but
from
like,
scratch.
so that's why I
I'm
doubt.
starting
That's
from
why I
scratch.
doubt that you're going to do this one.
I will do it.
And from
It
what I
will be
hear, this
done.
one's harder than Bloodborne.
It probably is, and it's not as good either. Like I will say that it's definitely not as good as Bloodborne. It shows its age a little bit. I can see what they were going for with it, and like I can see how Bloodborne like came from this. And I'm like, oh, I want to see like a proper PS5 version. Like I know Demon Souls is out, but like Demon Souls is a bit different. Like I can't wait to see like Elden Ring and like whatever they do like after this. Like Elden Ring looks cool, like open world and stuff, but like I
Well,
want
they
to see
could do
Bloodborne too.
Demon. Well, there's been talk for years about
Or
Demon
Demon
Souls
Souls
2. Yeah.
Yeah, or Demon Souls 2, that'd be fine. I don't like Demon Souls.
Do you know
like,
what?
I
At this
don't know
point, though,
about-
what I think they would. No, do you know why I think it might happen? And it would be PS5 exclusive. Because Bluepoint Game, I think they'll get Bluepoint Games to do it and keep their main team doing like Elden Ring and whatnot. Because Bluepoint Games could do the whole game from scratch easily at this point.
Yeah,
And by the time that they
Maybe,
finish the Metal Gear Solid remake, be it 1 or 3, which is clearly what they're doing now, then they'll get tasked to do From Software.
do you know what? Like From Software are like churning games now. Like they put out Sekiro like
You
not
say-
that long ago.
You say churning. Sekiro was like 2 years ago.
Yeah, and then like obviously
Elden
Bluepoint
Ring's-
did Demon Souls.
Yeah.
Bluepoint did Demon Souls. Yeah, Elden Ring, but like a 2 year turnaround for like a very very complex game like this game's gonna be Elden Ring, and like
You say-
Sekiro was definitely
I'm
that.
sorry. I'm sorry.
So-
You said 2 year turnaround. Okay, so Sekiro
Well, they've got
was
probably
in
more than
development
one
for
team,
a lot more years than that. Like just because it came out 2 years ago, like there's Elden Ring was in development way before that. Guaranteed.
Yeah. But like I really appreciate this studio's like game design and their commitment to like intricate game design. Like, because the way that they loop their levels around is fucking insane. Like, I love it, man. Like, see when I kick that ladder down and I'm like, look down and claim, that's that bonfire. I'm like, oh my god. And like, you just never fucking see it coming, like ever. So yeah, like I love that shit. And like,
Do you know how
Bloodborne
they
is
do it, Andy?
so
They design
good
the
for
whole
that, man.
level and then they go, right, let's restrict
like-
here, 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 here.
They design it like they design
Yeah,
it on
design it
a
as a
flat plane
whole.
and then they just
Design
curve
it. Yeah, no, but they design it as a whole.
no, man.
And then they take
Yeah.
off your access. And they go, boom, 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 boom. You need to go here to get here, you need to go here.
But like, I don't know. It's genius, man. Like I love the way they do it. But anyway,
I'm
like
looking
yeah,
forward
as
to
I say,
Elden
the
Ring though,
graphic-
because we've kind of
Definitely.
been jumping in and out of the ring. Like, are you ready? Are you ready? Skipping ropes, and you
Yeah, yeah.
claim to have finished Bloodborne or whatever. But like, I think
I have
El-
finished Bloodborne.
Elden, well, or you watch someone do it, or Bethany finish it for you. But like the thing is, I think that Elden Ring is going to be the good one because we'll both get it day one. We'll both be able to talk to each other. And I've been waiting for this game since The Witness, Andy, as you know. I thought Metroid Dread was going to be it, but then you just did an Andy on me and didn't get it day one. Because of Amazon messing you about because you didn't pull the trigger on it the week before I told you to. But I think Elden Ring will be the one that will keep us going next year, like playing it backwards and forwards. And I think we'll have an all-round better experience with it because we're playing it at the same time. I think that encourages
could
me
let-
to keep
we-
going.
We could literally have this experience with Dark Souls because
We
we're
won't.
basically at the same point.
We won't.
You just refuse to go back.
Well, why would I go back, Andy, when your motto, as you know, is new is always better, and Metroid Dread's newer than Dark Souls Remastered?
It's true, but you haven't played
What?
as much.
This
Dark
doesn't make a
Souls
difference.
Remastered.
Does it make a difference when new is always better? Like, I could have finished it and played a minute of Metroid Dread, and it's got to be better by your rules.
Okay. But anyway, like yeah, I've been playing that. And speaking of your new is always better motto, and my new is always better motto. I played a brand new game that came out today, Ali. I played this today.
Exclusive, brand new game.
I played Back 4 Blood.
Left 4 Dead.
Blood.
Let's be honest. This is Left 4 Dead 4,
Yeah.
but because of licensing, it can't be called Left 4 Dead 4 because it's the exact same team that was working on Left 4 Dead that got so impatient.
Wouldn't it be Left 4 Dead 3? Because they only made 2.
I thought they did 3, no?
No, they only did 2. I'm sure.
Do you know what box art's in my head? Dead Rising 3. Like, I can see it right now.
It's because there's a 4 in it, like, it makes sense. But
sorry,
this is basically
Left 4 Dead 3.
it's Left 4 Dead.
The team was literally Left 4 Dead, and they were bored of waiting around, so they eventually went, fuck it, we want to keep this going, so they had to change the name. But this is the next Left 4 Dead.
And
which is Zombie Horde mode, and I've never liked it.
It's, yeah. I only played the first level of it first so far, because it just came out today, and I played it when I got home from work. And it is, it's a Zombie Horde mode, and I've played a bunch of Zombie Horde mode games, and to be fair, this is probably the best one. Like, I've never played Left 4 Dead 1 or 2, but I played a bit of World War Z, and it was kind of naff, and it didn't feel like you're making any progress, and you're just like sitting in an area and defending it, and like zombies are coming at you.
Like Call of Duty Zombies.
Exactly, like kind of like Call of Duty Zombies. And that was kind of fun at bits, but like it also felt naff. This one feels like you're making progress through like killing the zombies because you're like trying to get to places. So it feels a bit more like a proper zombie apocalypse, where like the Walking Dead type thing, where you're like in an area and it's like get to the next.
How have they dropped the ball so much in that Walking Dead franchise for a video game? Like they could have slapped it on Dead Rising. They could have slapped it on Days Gone. They could have easily got the license for it. Why have they dropped the ball so hard on, like, even right now, I've got a feeling if you dropped Days Gone 2 and changed the name to Walking Dead and it was Days Gone 2, folk would go through the roof. All you need is to give that name to a good developer and you're making fucking bank. You're making bank.
You're totally right, mate. Like, Walking Dead is a massive property, and like the video games they've done for it, like outside of the Telltale game is
Telltale
great.
Aside. But
right?
I'm not counting that as like your main video game.
Yeah.
That's borderline indie.
Totally, and like it did good business for them
and
and
Clementine's even coming into the TV show from what I hear. She was in the comics as well, and now she's coming to the TV.
Is she?
Yeah, man.
Oh, I didn't know this. Okay, I need to look that up. That'd be awesome. Clementine's fucking so cool, man. And so like Lee's really cool as well. But yeah, the other Walking Dead games they've done, like they did like some Daryl Dixon game, Saints and Sinners. They did like a VR game. They've done like umpteen mobile games, which is like building up fucking towns and shit. And like none of that is cool to play. Like if you had a game like this or like Days Gone with like Walking Dead characters in it, people would dig the shit out of that. Like imagine playing as Daryl and Michonne and Rick and whoever else, Negan even, as the 4 characters like from this game. Be like, okay, like this is cool. Imagine you got the voice characters to bring their voices back. Like that would be awesome. And okay, you couldn't have like the stuff that's in this game. You would just have regular zombies and people, but like, because in this game you've got sort of like regular zombies, and then you've got big mutant fuck off zombies with like swollen arms and like big puffed up chests and things, like the bullet sponge type guys. But the shooting and everything's fun. The reversal's totally fine. Like all that stuff works great.
Sorry to interrupt. So Clementine, she's not appeared as of yet. Robert Kirk. What's the creator's name? Robert Kirkman.
Robert Kirkman, yeah.
When someone said Clementine, please, his response was stay tuned. Clementine was mentioned recently in an episode of Fear the Walking Dead.
Oh, I'm going to watch fucking Fear the Walking Dead again.
Do you know what? That show started really good. Like, see how it started before the apocalypse? Because obviously The Walking Dead, it started with Rick waking up after he gets shot, and the apocalypse had happened. Clementine's a character mentioned in AMC's Fear the Walking Dead. She's a member of June's former camp, so yeah.
Yes. But yeah, like this game so far, as I say, I've only played the tutorial, so but it looks nice enough. Like the gameplay's totally fine. I had some fun with it, like more than I thought I was.
Did you
going
play
to, 'cause I
with
expected-
Ian and Mark, or did you play with Fraser and the guys over at his?
Not yet, but I think I'm going to play with them tomorrow.
Not yet.
Tonight,
Sorry,
I've just-
so you never answered the question. Just
all
to
of
be
them.
clear. So
All
you
of them.
played this by yourself?
Play this by myself.
Ah,
Yeah.
fair. Is it single player? Sorry, I wasn't listening at all.
Yeah, I think you can play single player like with bots. Because
Yeah,
there's
but
four.
who
there's
did you
four
play
playable
with?
characters and you can choose with 3 bots. Because you can play as like one of the characters, and then the other 3 people are just along with you. And obviously you can play like 4-player co-op in that as well.
I think I think I'm already booked out on that one. I think you know when Fred Flintstone gets his card punched at the end of the day.
I would download
You
it and try it.
sound-
Like you might
No.
enjoy it.
No, you know I won't. I can see with your face you know that I won't. You sound 0% enthusiastic about it. You sounded more enthusiastic about Clementine potentially being in The Walking Dead than this.
Well, yeah, because that's like holy shit. Like this is just like yeah, okay, it's like a zombie horde mode game, which I think will be very fun, like to play with friends and stuff like that. But yeah, the gameplay mechanics are really fine. And it doesn't look like a Series X game. I'll say that. It looks all right. But yeah,
does
so
look like
I'm
a
going to
Series
play that
X
some
game,
more.
Andy.
The medium. The medium.
It doesn't. It simply doesn't. But
I don't know. Like I don't know that I would say I've genuinely played a Series X game.
I would
yet.
say I've played a PS5 game.
I would agree. Yeah, I played a few PS5 games, but not any Series X games.
No.
Halo, hopefully, like that'll look amazing. But it's also an Xbox One.
Yeah, it won't. So did you play anything else?
No, that's all I
Excellent,
played.
because this will lead me.
I'm
Shush!
gonna
No
play-
one cares. So this will lead me into my question, Andy. You can talk about that on Friday, you silly sausage. We have more shows. Tease the people. Don't just tell them tune in next week and you can hear me be so fucking excited for. No, don't do that, Andy. I've been baking this question. Plus, honestly, man, Back for Blood. There's going to be some people that like it, but I think, see, even the people. Do you know where the people that like Back for Blood are right now?
They're on PlayStation.
No, they're on Warzone. That's the problem.
Yeah.
The people that played zombie games back then, there's not a market for this. You can play it within Call of Duty already, so it's gone. It'll be a flash in the pan, sadly, but you enjoy. My question, Andy. I need to think of a question because you fucking.
You
I
titled
did-
the show the question. You titled the show the question.
I can't even remember the title of the show. Oh, I do. Shit. Right. So, I think your instant answer. I think I know what your instant answer is to the question, but once we talk about it more, I think we'll both agree on the answer. Okay. So me and Andy had a discussion last week. It was kind of interesting. It's a bigger discussion to be had of what defines a AAA game. I think we're going to have to do a whole podcast, just me and you talking about what defines a AAA game. I think we are going to have to do that. But
We're actually good at that because we defined the genres of video games years ago, and it was like these are the locked-in genres, and
Yeah.
it was perfect.
yeah, we did.
I think we could definitely define exactly what constitutes a AAA game as well.
Yes, I think stay tuned for that one. That's coming up. However, with that said, each console, and I'm sorry to the Amico and Television. I am sorry to my beloved Evercade. I am sorry to all of these other consoles and PC gamers. But I'm not sorry to PC gamers. Go fuck yourselves. There are 3 consoles on the market. There are 3 big hitters, and you have Sony with the PlayStation, you have Microsoft with the Xbox, and you have Nintendo currently with the Switch. Xbox being Series X and PS5 being the current PlayStation, obviously, Andy, as you know. So,
Yes.
we are basing this discussion on current. I'm not talking about PlayStation back in the day. I'm not talking about Microsoft back in the day. And Nintendo have kept everything always. So, a AAA game, Andy, like you're thinking your Last of Us. You're thinking your Call of Duty, but we're not here to talk about third parties. We're not here to talk about your Final Fantasies. We're not here. We're not here to talk about your Battlefields, Andy. No, 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 no. You can take your Battlefield and take it all the way to Back 4 Blood. Take it away. Take it off the table. Clear the table, in fact. We're here to talk about the bread and butter of each of these companies. So, with that said, the question that I have to ask, and this might take a wee while, which one has got the best first party franchises? Like, what one of these has got them? And to analyse this, you've got to break it down into what they've got. What they've got. And I will say right now, Pokemon is a first party franchise. Pokemon's a Nintendo first party franchise, even though it's made by Game Freak. So let's start with PlayStation. Let's start with the big one, the big boy, the man of the moment, the PlayStation 5, the sickest looking console on this side of the planet, Andy, the one that's not available, the Love Flower. So PS5, what do they have? They've got your Horizon Zero Dawn or Horizon franchise, sequel coming soon. Really good game. What's its longevity? One every 4 years?
Yeah, they did one 2017.
They ain't rushing. They ain't rushing him.
Yeah, you'll get another one in the PS5 lifetime.
They ain't rushing him. You've got obviously your finale of the PS3 era. You've got The Last of Us, Andy. Fucking lovely game. Let's not talk about the sequel though. But Last of Us is a lovely game. Looking forward to the third one. Looking forward to the TV series. Last of Us. That's probably Naughty Dog is PlayStation at this point. Am I right?
Yep. First party owned studio. Yep.
Yeah. No. What I mean is, I know the first party studio. I mean, Naughty Dog is PlayStation as a statement.
Oh, right. I see what you mean. Yeah, totally.
And they can say what they like, Andy. Uncharted's making a comeback. You know Uncharted's coming. 100%. I can't count Final Fantasy. Even though they've got timed exclusives, and it once upon a time after Nintendo was an exclusive, I'm talking present day. I ain't talking about exclusive games, I'm talking about franchises. So, we can't count Final Fantasy. What can we count then? Killzone? We're going to give them Killzone? The Halo beater?
It's not a Halo beater, but like it is an exclusive franchise.
Halo beater.
It's definitely not a Halo beater.
Do you know what?
It is an exclusive franchise.
It's a worse game, but I'm more interested in it.
It's a cooler concept.
Yes.
Though, like it's never been well executed though. Like,
it's not been well done. No, at all. So we'll give them Killzone. What else have we got on the PlayStation side? You have got to give them a bone for Ratchet and motherfucking Clank. You've got Pixar in video game form. Naughty Dog's killing it, but come on. Ratchet and motherfucking Clank. Is that Insomniac, isn't it? No? Maybe?
That's Insomniac, yeah. Insomniac.
And talking of Insomniac, we've also got Spider-Man, because Sony owns Spider-Man. Spider-Man counts as an exclusive.
And Wolverine as well is coming.
Yeah. I'm not looking at a list here. I'm just literally staring at the fresh air. What other franchises, Andy? You're the Sony pony.
Like, so you've got
Destruction,
like
All Stars.
No, that's just no. It's not even worth discussing.
It is an exclusive, though. I'm right. First party.
You've got God of War. Is the other big one?
Oh, I forgot about God of War. My apologies to Kratos and boy. Yeah.
That's a big game, and then obviously you've got your likes of Gran Turismo as well.
Gran Turismo, the Classico. 8 years of recording car sounds. Boy.
Those would, I would say, kind of be the biggest franchise.
Yeah. Without going into indies.
they've got a bunch of kind of smaller titles and stuff like that, and dead titles that are probably never coming back at this point, or they might resurrect to like great fanfare and then no one buys it like down the line.
Any one franchise you can recall off your top of your head from PlayStation era? I know you love G Police, but like something else like that would. I like G Police. I don't know why you laugh at it. I got you into shit in a Twitter post for that. Remember when you shat on it and the guy was like, "What?" G Police was awesome. But anyway, is there a franchise of Days Gone Past that you would like to resurrect?
I mean, Days Gone was good. I like Days Gone. It was exclusive.
Days Past, Andy, man. That's like last year.
You know, I would like another Days Gone over like one of these older like franchises.
I think they like put that to bed far too quick. Days Gone had legs. Did,
yeah, it had legs and it sold well and like it was good. It had a few problems, but like it was a good basis for a game, and they should have done more with it.
Maybe it's because
like it's as far as like resurrecting old franchises and stuff like that. Like most of the stuff's gone like multi-platform now, like Final Fantasy, Crash Bandicoot, like Spyro, like all these things.
Final Fantasy was never PlayStation's. It just left to the different medium.
Yeah, exactly.
To
but
disc
like
format.
it never. Yeah, like but Final Fantasy 7, 8, 9, 10, like 11, 12, like these never came to like Xbox.
Here's a supplementary question for you though. Final Fantasy 7 came out before Xbox and Dreamcast were a thing. Would you think that there would be a chance of it coming out on potentially Xbox with Microsoft's money if it had launched? Xbox, remember, came out PS2 era. If Xbox hadn't missed an era, basically, of consoles, would you have said it would have come out in multi-format?
No.
I would disagree, but okay. Why would you say that?
Because Xbox were not aligning themselves well with Japanese developers back then. Like now they're trying.
Well, they didn't exist. They didn't exist when Final Fantasy 7 came out.
They tried in 360 era and it didn't work, and the games didn't sell. So
they're chipping away now though.
Dreamcast, it could have come out on,
but it was before that time.
Well, yeah,
it was 3 years before Dreamcast.
Yeah, but like it could have, if it had lined up, they could have come out on that. But
so you say Dreamcast?
Sony must have paid some money for that. Like I would imagine.
What I think happened was obviously Sony was the Mega CD rival. Nintendo had obviously done a deal with Philips behind their back, and they went, "Fuck you, we're going to keep it going." I think Final Fantasy 7 Square had signed on. We're like, yeah, you're going disc, Nintendo. This is the way to do it. Do your disc, and then they'd already started dev. I reckon at that point. I generally do.
Yeah.
Because 7's a huge fucking game, especially for its time. That didn't happen overnight, man.
Yeah. But anyway, like as far as like the PlayStation franchises go, like that's kind of most of the big ones.
What would you say was a top franchise, Andy? What would you, or your favourite? What would you say is? In fact, that's two separate questions. What's their top franchise, and what's your favourite?
Their top franchise is probably like in terms of popularity, it's probably Spider-Man. But like that's kind of cheating though, because like
is it? It's a game.
It's an appropriated property that they've just like
licensed. No, it's not. No, they haven't licensed it. Sony owns Spider-Man.
Well, no, I understand that, but like it's not a new thing. Like it's not like they made it up. It's like they took an established character and went like, here's a fucking great game. Right? So? You see what I mean? Yeah, they took Spider-Man and they put him in a good game.
So
like,
what?
That's what they did.
What's wrong
but
with
like I think that's less impressive than taking like I'm making a brand new IP like Last of Us and like making everyone love that, or Uncharted.
You've also forgot about Little Big Planet, Andy. Come on.
War. No one gives a fuck about Little Big Planet, mate. Astrobot as well. Like these are side tertiary games that like people are not. These are not system selling games. Like people will buy them, sure, but like they're not like what people are buying the system for.
So what's your favorite franchise?
Like out of those ones, probably like Last of Us 2 was amazing, but Last of Us 1 wasn't. Horizon 1 was amazing. So like out of all, it's probably Horizon. But like Horizon
You
was
think
better than Last of Us 1.
Horizon's your favourite Sony?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
I bought Aloy in Fortnite.
So did I. I didn't really like Horizon. The proof of
And I thought I thought about downloading Genshin Impact just to play to get Aloy. I did not do it, but I thought about it.
Oh, was she in that?
Yeah, she's in that.
I tried that game once and it was like, you know, the boring parts of every RPG kind of like.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah. But yeah, like probably Horizon because it's the newest one and it's got the most current potential. Like Last of Us 2, I loved it, but as I say, I didn't like Last of Us 1 that much, and it's to me it's now not that current. Whereas like Horizon Forbidden West is about to come out, and I'm like hyped for that.
You did miss a couple of big ones though.
Like what did I miss? That's current. Nothing.
Really? And you're the Sony guy in the show?
What did I miss? I don't know.
Ghost of Tsushima and Death Stranding. Both are getting sequels. Both exclusive to PlayStation.
I didn't play Ghost of Tsushima, and
Yeah.
Death Stranding was like just a fucking weird game.
Yeah, but both are getting
Like,
sequels and both are Sony franchises.
Would I play a sequel to it? Sure. Would I like enjoy playing the sequel? Probably not.
Oh, it's not an enjoyable game by any means.
It's not an enjoyable game.
I love Metal Gear Solid, but it turns out I don't like games when Kojima's left to do what he wants. But Ghost of Tsushima is a solid game that you 100% should have played and should play.
I probably will play at some point. Like it's just a
Yeah.
samurai ship, but I don't like samurais.
And you love Renaissance period in France? You played fucking Unity.
Yeah, I like that. I was an assassin. I had a hidden blade.
You
Cool.
didn't
I was
like
jumping
it?
off build, hardcore.
You're
Well,
often
I
talking
didn't
about
like
Greek mythology, Greek history as well. Like, what are you like? I'll give you Egypt. See if it's set in space. That's the only one I believe that you'd like. Andy doesn't give a fuck about
But-
this planet. See if it's the history of Mars. It'd be Andy's best game.
Yes.
Anyway, that's not
yeah.
the point. So we've named mostly the big players. So let's move on to like Microsoft. What don't they have now?
Microsoft is interesting because like they've got a lot of
Bethesda.
franchises that haven't released anything yet.
Still
Right, like-
counts though. Like Fable still counts as a
Ah,
first person. As
Oh, totally. Like, you got
Halo
you got
still
Fable,
counts
you got
because you've got to remember the last
Halo. Yeah.
the last Halo came out 6 years ago.
Hmm.
So you've got Halo, you've got Gears, Fable, Forza. As much as I love Gran Turismo, Forza trumps.
Well,
Trumps.
probably better.
Yeah.
I think it looks better as well, and it's more varied.
I'm not. Andy might talk more about indies, but I'm talking. You've got Starfield, obviously. All the Elder Scrolls now, are going
Fallout.
forward. Fallout, Doom, Dishonored,
Prey,
Deathloop, 2.
Raid.
Yeah. Lots. Like, see when you say it like that, it's not immediate, but the effect of this in the next 10 years is going to be insane.
Yeah. Perfect Dark. You've got
Oh yeah, Banjo-Kazooie.
Perfect Dark. Well, Banjo.
Banjo-Kazooie is not dead. Banjo-Kazooie, they confirmed it's not dead.
Oh yeah, but they haven't said that they're doing anything with it at the moment. So like it's
No.
a dormant franchise
Right, fair,
at the
but
moment.
I hope they give
Perfect
it back
Dark
to
is
Nintendo.
not-
Do you know what they should do? Give Banjo back to Nintendo. Nintendo will do it more justice. 100%. 110% they will do it more
I would-
justice.
I would rather see it on Xbox, to be honest.
I would.
Like Nintendo's got a bunch of 3D platformers, like fine. I would rather see Rare do Banjo on Xbox.
Would you?
Because
Rare don't
Microsoft-
exist anymore. I'd rather see Platonic Games do it.
Well, even or contract them or fucking just buy them. Like Microsoft just
Microsoft, do you know
buy
what? Like, Rare left and made Platonic. They should go, okay, we're just going to buy you again. And then they leave again and they make another studio. They're, okay, come back. Get to those avatars. So, yeah, they do.
it. Sea of Thieves, you got
Sorry.
Grounded.
I'm having trouble understanding
Oh, I
right
need
now.
to turn that down. Leo's in
Please
bed
try a
above.
little later.
You got Recore, you got all Quantum Break, like all these ones. Like I liked all of these games. Like they were all Microsoft exclusives. Although Quantum Break was Remedy.
Quantum Break isn't it Xbox exclusive, but it's not a first person. It's not first
Yeah.
party. It's not. It's a bit like saying
But yeah,
Rise
I
of
mean-
Tomb Raider's Xbox. It's not.
Yeah, and they've got like Double Fine as well. So you got like Psychonauts and stuff.
Double Fine.
There's a bunch of stuff there. I think that Microsoft has got more potential going forward, and Hellblade as well. Like Hellblade's about for me. Like I love that game, man. It's fucking brilliant.
Oh yeah, I forgot about Hellblade, man. I just hated that game, but I know you liked it. So
I loved it, man.
again, Andy, what's your? You didn't ask me my favorite PlayStation.
Oh, what's your favorite PlayStation franchise, Ali? Uncharted.
No, Spider-Man. It's a no-brainer.
Yeah, makes sense, yeah.
But I would,
Makes sense.
I wouldn't agree with you that that's the most successful. I would say God of War is the most successful, personally. But Xbox, Andy, I'll throw it over to you. What is your favourite Xbox franchise, and what would you say is the most successful?
The Medium. The Medium. It's my favorite.
It's not.
It's not Xbox.
It's not an Xbox.
Oh no, it's not. It's not first party.
In fact, Tencent have bought shares in Bloober Team, throwing out all the rumours of PlayStation or Xbox buying these guys. Tencent have bought like
Fair
20% of the company this week.
I don't. Do you know what? Like Bloober Team. Like I had to look at some of their other games. Like they did like Layers of Fear and stuff. Those games
Shite.
look fucking terrible.
All
Like,
of them are
awful.
shite, Andy. Let's not kid ourselves. That was
I
not a good
love-
game.
It's great.
It's It looks like a good
But anyway-
PS2 game.
Okay. But anyway, like as far as franchises go for Xbox, it's like an absolute no-brainer. Elder Scrolls. Like Elder Scrolls. Out of all of them, it's the best one for me. Halo is the most popular, probably, but like Elder Scrolls is the best one.
I think Gears is more popular than Halo, personally.
Like Gears is fine, and like I enjoyed playing through the games with yourself, but like still fucking Elder Scrolls. Honestly, like the amount of fun I've had in those Elder Scrolls games, like just insane. The variety in them, mind blowing. And obviously, like I haven't played any of them on a Microsoft platform yet, but like as far as franchises go, like I'm gonna be playing Elder Scrolls on Xbox going forward, regardless of whether it's on PlayStation or not.
It
Because like,
won't.
it's an
I'll tell you
Xbox
right
franchise
now.
now.
It
Even
won't
if it
be.
did, even if it did, I would play it.
You saying that is misleading to anyone watching this far into the show.
Yeah, well, it's not going to
It's
come.
not
right?
going to
But,
happen. Like Phil Spencer had to come out like and say because of rumors on Twitter, like Starfield isn't going to other platforms.
Yep.
Like he made it very clear. This is we bought it. End of story.
Yeah.
Because everyone at the
And I'm
start was
excited
like, "What they're going to do? What they're going to do?" You spend $6 billion. You ain't giving it to PlayStation.
Nope, you're using that to sell your service and to sell your
Of
platform.
course you are, because the complaint last gen was you don't do Japan and you don't have any franchises, so Xbox went, right, we'll fucking go to Japan and we'll buy franchises. So, and they've done just what they've said.
Yep.
Good for Xbox.
But yeah, definitely Elder Scrolls. What about you? What's your favourite Xbox
Fable.
franchise?
Fable.
Fable. Okay.
And the
Okay.
weird thing about
I
that
played
is,
one Fable. I didn't like it, but I played it years later. So
the weird thing about that is I've only ever finished one Fable game. But Fable 2 was such a fucking good game. It used to be Mass Effect, and then it went multi-platform, obviously. Mass Effect was my
Yeah.
favourite Xbox game. And was it Mass Effect 2 that went multi-format, or Mass Effect 3? I can never remember. That was a sad day.
It was Mass Effect
3.
3,
It
but then
was.
they back compact
They back.
2.
They
and
did in 1.
on-
Yep, you're right. And it's a shame, because Mass Effect, they should have kept... Microsoft should have... See if Phil Spencer was at Microsoft at the time, he'd have paid EA to keep that. He would have.
Probably.
100%, man. You're not losing Microsoft. You're not losing Mass Effect. I'd say Fable. I love Fable 2. Fable 3 was good, but it came into like a lot of sim management stuff that I didn't enjoy. Gears has got a special place for me. See, like, I'd say PlayStation is a weird one because I always relate PlayStation to two franchises that are no longer like. In fact, Tomb Raider was never only because it was in Saturn, but I always relate Tomb Raider and Crash to PlayStation. That's the two mascots, right? Crash more, but Crash isn't. And Xbox was PlayStation's a funny point where their mascot's Ratchet. Ratchet's their mascot. I don't care. I'm not accepting Sackboy. Ratchet. They should push that a lot more. Nintendo's Mario. Nintendo. You say Nintendo, you think Mario. I don't give a shit what you say about Zelda, Metroid, and you think Mario. But Xbox, it's Halo. Xbox and Halo go hand in hand because they're the ones that made first-person shooters playable off a PC back then. Because it's hard to believe now, but back then folk were like, a first-person shooter on a console? It'll never work. It did work. And it was Halo that done they went, do you know what?
Yeah.
Here's another stick. Boom.
Yeah, it worked perfectly.
And it worked perfectly. So, I would say Fable or Forza. Do you know what? I'm going to go Forza. Because I've liked more Forza games than Fable games. Simple as that.
Yeah.
I've never played a bad Forza. I've played a bad Fable.
Fair enough. Was it the Kinect Fable?
Do you know, I had fun with that. I drank a bottle of Buckfast with Gordy and me and him sat and played it. It was hilarious because he looks like a wizard anyway. And he was sitting there like this in front of the Kinect, like getting annoyed with it, going whack, quack. And he was doing the sound effects, so it was quite funny in the old flat to see that happen.
Especially because Gordy did not play games.
Oh, I hated it, and he gets so pissed off, and I was like, no, God, you. And I sat one of the. Remember, we used to have a little dining table, and I sat the dining table chair in front of the TV and went, fucking play it, Gordy. And he did, and he sat there going, quack, quack. And, like, see, you had to do the reins for the thing. He's sitting there. See, to watch Gordy sitting doing that, because he was doing the whole. Yeah, all you had to do was this. Gordy's doing the whole as if he's on a horse movement on the chair. That was good.
Nice.
Yeah. I don't hate that. Fable the Journey, that was called. I like Fable the Journey better than I liked Fable 3. I don't understand how they went so wrong with Fable 3. I really don't. It's as if they just gave up halfway through production. It's like Peter Molyneux over promised and under delivered every single time. But like Fable 2 was so spot on. It was like, oh great, I can't wait to see what you do next. And he done Fable 3 and it was like, oh my god, this is excellent. Then he went into SimCity, right? It's now sim management. You have to like take care of all the areas in the city. It's like, no. I'm an adventurer with a dog. Let me hit skeletons with a stick. Come on. How'd you fuck up?
Yeah, I think that's Microsoft pretty much covered.
Pretty much Microsoft. Okay, so Nintendo. What don't they own at this point? What's not there?
Nintendo had Mario,
Zelda, Metroid, Pokemon, Kirby, Yoshi,
Bayonetta.
Smash, Bayonetta. No more heroes at this stage.
People don't care about that.
Yes, they do.
I think that's most of the main ones.
Splatoon.
But like Splatoon. Yeah, Arms. Arms.
Technically, it was popular. By the way, I seen the figures for that recently. I hated that game.
It was fucking terrible. Really bad game.
Mario Kart.
Mario
Kart counts as a separate franchise.
Mario. Yeah, no. But like, there's so many Mario games, like tennis, golf, like party.
Cruising USA. I didn't realize they owned that license till this new game came out.
Oh, do they? I didn't realize that was Nintendo. Like, I knew it was an exclusive, but I didn't realize they owned the license.
See that cruising game you always see in the arcades? That's a Nintendo game. I didn't know that. I thought it was Sega. To be fair.
Okay. No, I knew it wasn't Sega because I knew Sega had the
Sega Rally.
And Sega Rally, yeah. Sega have now, jeez.
So yeah, big games, man. Like the company that's over 100 years old now started as a card company.
Yeah.
Older than Sony, older than Microsoft. None of these companies started as video game developers. None of them. Nintendo made cards. Sony made sound systems. Microsoft made. Microsoft started making operating systems.
Yeah.
So
Microsoft started as Apple, basically.
no, well, yeah, he took Steve Jobs' stuff, yeah. Which is funny to hear, and then eventually down the line, Steve Jobs ran out of money because of his crazy ideas, and Bill Gates bought a lot of the company, so Microsoft own a big percentage of Apple, which was hilarious when they ended their phone deal and stopped making Windows Mobile, and their recommendation to their customers, their text actually read, Andy, we recommend you buy an Apple product.
That's funny. We forgot a couple of Nintendo franchises.
Of course, we did Zero G, Dragon,
Animal Crossing,
Animal Crossing,
F-Zero.
Fire Emblem.
Yeah, Fire Emblem, Donkey Kong. Like,
Fuck Donkey Kong. How could we forget Donkey Kong?
there's so many. Like, and these are not dormant or dead franchises either.
No, none
like,
of
these
all
are,
of these are active. Every one.
all of these are active, and like they've had a game release in the last, say, like 10 years. Like, which I would consider to be still relatively active and in the public domain. Like Xenoblade as well, Pikmin,
Xenoblade. Oh yeah, Pikmin. True.
Star Fox as well, Kid Icarus. Like, fucking hell.
Oh, all of them have had franchises. Yeah. It just I forgot they had the 3DS during the Wii U as well. Yeah. You're right. So yeah. Nintendo.
Earthbound as well. Maybe come back.
I will say I will not count. I like Earthbound / Mother, but I cannot count that as an active Nintendo franchise. Reggie made jokes before he left about it because he knew what the fan base was like, but they ain't going back to that now. There's fan translations of Mother 3 if you want to play it. It's a great game. I haven't finished it, but it was great. So yeah. Andy, Nintendo, innovative. Don't give a shit if they've got the highest spec machine. They didn't take a price drop in 4 years. They haven't needed to take a price drop until they themselves decided to replace their current console.
Even their fucking games haven't dropped in price.
Their games have not dropped in price if you buy them. Even if you buy them second hand or day one, 40 quid. And it's worth every penny of that. I will say that right now.
Yeah.
But what is your favourite franchise and what do you think's the best selling? In fact, I know the best selling, but
their best selling one's Mario Kart. Like, definitely.
The best selling's Mario. Mario in general.
Yeah, but it'll be Mario Kart specifically, like for the Switch.
Yeah, of course.
That game sold like an insane amount of fucking copies.
It's followed by Pokemon. I'll tell you that.
Yeah. I mean, it pretty much got like I don't like Pokemon that much.
Nah.
But I like Pokemon on the Game Boy.
I was. Can I just say this right? I don't hate Pokemon. I just think they haven't changed the game since I was 12, and
yeah,
it's been the same.
Advanced so much since then,
So,
in terms of like the games that we play.
Yeah,
so it's
and I mean, there's a time and place.
RPGs, Pokemon, that's what it is.
Yeah, and it's fine for a game like Sonic to be Sonic, but see when it comes to like this RPG, like look at Zelda. Zelda changed with the times. Pokemon just changed the graphics. That's all they did. They just went, oh, it's current graphics. The first change that I've properly seen in Pokemon is this Arceus that's coming out, which we'll talk about on Friday more. But
yeah, because it might just be sort of fake open world.
No, it is Game Freak confirmed.
Yeah, I think that like so. My favorite franchise it's got to be either Mario or Zelda, like Mario 3D platformers or like mainline Zelda games. Which one do I like better out of those? I don't know. I mean, like based on the current entries, I would say they're probably equal to me. Like Breath of the Wild and Mario Odyssey are both the best in the series, like for the respective franchises. I think. For me, like going back, Ocarina, amazing.
Yeah, it was a good game.
All the Twilight Princess was decent on the GameCube and terrible on the Wii. Didn't play the other ones. Didn't like Wind Waker. Going back further than that, like the old Zelda games, I liked. Well, Link to the Past. It was very good on the SNES.
Haven't finished.
Looking back at the older Mario games, Mario 3D World I thought was good.
Can I just say something about? Sorry, unpopular opinion. I hate Mario 2D games. I hate Super Mario Bros. I hate Super Mario Bros. 2, Lost Levels, Mario Bros. 3, Mario World 2. They fucking suck. Do you know why?
Like,
do you know why?
They're slow.
Yeah, because I was brought up in Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yep.
Even 8-bit Sonic is faster than 16-bit Mario.
Yep.
Like, Sega does what Nintendo don't, and I'm never changed. I will say just now, console wars are toxic, really bad. PlayStation 5 is the exact same as Xbox. They've just got different franchises. So love each other, one and the same. But see, Nintendo in the 90s can go fuck themselves. I'm Sega. And no, but I'm being serious. Mario sucks compared to Sonic. So fuck all them. Like, Zelda doesn't count in this discussion because he's not a platformer. Mario 2D sucks. I have never thoroughly enjoyed a 2D Mario game. I sit here on my throne and I pretend, Andy. I tell the people what they want to hear, that I loved it. I thought New Super Mario Bros. Was so good. I hated them. I hated them.
I will say this: I've never finished a 2D Mario game.
I
Ever.
have,
I've played
and
bits
they suck.
of them.
They suck. They're horrible.
I will agree they're way too slow, and like especially after playing Sonic, like that's more like
They
Mario's
have the
more like
same
exploration.
the same levels for the past 20 years, Andy.
I
The
know,
same levels. And I'm
Like
not even.
3D.
People moan about fucking Green Hill Zone. You've had the Mushroom Kingdom, Act 1, Level 1. The exact same. Do. Boo! And you know what's going to happen. You've got 3 blocks. The last one breaks. The first one breaks. But you know what? The middle one is, Andy. It's a power up. It's a mushroom that makes you grow tall. And it's the same. It's the same fucking thing. At least Sonic 4 tried something different. Fuck you, Nintendo.
Yeah, so like 2D Mario, like I also don't really like. So I would discount that and like only compare the 3D Marios to like all of the Zelda games. And Zelda, I liked probably more of them than Mario. So yeah, probably Zelda, I would say. But I do like Mario Kart, but like I probably prefer Zelda to Mario Kart and Donkey Kong and like all the other ones that we mentioned. What would be yours? Metroid? No? Zelda? He's gonna say Zelda as well.
So Nintendo. I fucking hate you, but you're the last one standing. We have to sit here and pretend that me and Andy really care about Xbox and PlayStation 5, and we argue every week and we talk about the great games, but we all know if Sega was still standing, what would be happening right now. We do know. Andy knows, so do I. Unfortunately, in Nintendo, you're the last soldier. And you know what? The last soldier went, fuck you, I won't do what you told me. You stuck to the skater mentality. You stuck to Limp Bizkit style. And you did what you wanted. You fucked around and won with the Wii. You're never going to go out of money. The Switch is genius. Like, the Wii U, I don't care what people said. I didn't hate my Wii U. I didn't hate it.
Sorry.
There just wasn't games on it. I can't say I've bought a Nintendo system I didn't like. There was just games and other systems I wanted more. Like, Grand Theft Auto was a big factor for me getting a PS2. Grand Theft Auto was a big factor for me, like, staying with Sony. To be fair, now it's everywhere except Nintendo. But Switch was something special. However, my current favourite franchise, I can't say it's Metroid because Dread's the only one that I've recently played. And yeah, I said it's up there with Breath of the Wild. Would I say it's better than Breath of the Wild? It's going to be hard. Like, The Witcher 3, yes, is better than Breath of the Wild, 110%, but Breath of the Wild is something that I've never seen from any other first-party studio. Not one time have I seen such innovation. And to see the way that they made Breath of the Wild, they remade Zelda 1. Did you see this? They if you watch the making of Breath of the Wild, what they did, they planned Breath of the Wild out with an 8-bit engine in the same style as Zelda 1. That's how they planned out each of the zones of the map. It's insane. That's what the game looks like. You can see it. And I was breathtaken by, like, Breath of the Wild. Like, it was so good that it actually led to the birth of my daughter, because I couldn't step away from it. I'd be lying if I said otherwise. If I hadn't been so addicted to that game, I would have played that all the way through my holiday when I went to Italy. I planned on taking that to Italy with me, as you know, Andy. And what happened? I went, I guess I'll renew my Marvel Now subscription, and what was left to read? Civil War 2. It's not that good, folks. So, hi, Lexi. you know, Breath of the Wild is just it's a piece of culture that I'll take to my deathbed. Like it's one of those up there with Sonic 3 and Knuckles. Breath of the Wild's beyond phenomenal. Like the thinking behind it, like yeah, sure it's Skyrim, but to apply Skyrim to Zelda, that's a genius you've got there, Nintendo. Mario Kart's a second contender for me. I can't even say Pokemon. Pokemon Red, Blue, Yellow, yeah, absolutely amazing. Gold, Silver, I've got a semi-interest in them. After that, I don't care about stick spin bags and ice cream cones, so that can fuck off. Metroid, I love it. There's not enough of it. There's simply not enough of it. There's a fucking Amazon Prime TV series there waiting to be made. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah.
Um,
I think so.
It's pointless not to. You've got such a good backstory, such a good lore, such a good character. You don't even need to use Samus. You don't even need to use them. You use the universe. Use the Metroid as a threat. I think it's not difficult. Hire me, Amazon. My favourite franchise is Zelda. It has to be. Like I don't know that I've played one I didn't like. Oh yeah, I do. Zelda 2. I didn't like Zelda 2. It's not really
That's
a
a
Zelda
bad
game.
That's commonly known as a bad game. Like,
It's like a 2D platformer RPG. It didn't work. But my favourite Zelda game is Breath of the Wild. But before that, up until then, as you know, Andy, was Link's Awakening on the Game Boy. I played that in my first Game Boy. Probably my first RPG that I completed at that stage because I was what, like 8, 9, maybe.
yeah.
Yeah, I finished it back then. So with all that said, and you being a Sony pony and me still sticking up with Xbox and saying Xbox is much better, boo Sony. What would you say is got out of all three of them? Who's got the best franchises?
Probably Microsoft.
You'd say Microsoft.
Yeah.
Really?
Yep.
What? Why?
Because they've got way more of the games that I would be interested in, like in 2021, 22, 23, 24. Like
So-
Sony, I've got like 5 franchises that I'm like, I would die for these franchises. I'm fucking all in. I'll play them day one. Right? But like Microsoft, I've got like 15 franchises that I'm like, I really want to play that. Like Starfield, Fallout, Elder Scrolls, Hellblade, like
That's 4.
Halo.
It's 5 and you're not
Forza,
really sure on
maybe
that one.
Forza.
No, you won't play Forza. I'm sticking where you're at. That's 4.
Oh, you want me to continue? Okay.
Yeah, I actually do.
Okay, Doom, Rage,
You don't play Doom.
all the.
Let's not lie.
I will play them.
No,
I
you
will
won't.
play them.
No, you won't. So let's not lie. I'm not basing on who's got the most franchises, which is the game that you're playing just now. Elder Scrolls I'll give you for Microsoft, but like you're throwing in things like Doom. What's the first boss in the new Doom? How was Doom
I have no
Eternal?
idea. I didn't play it.
You didn't play them, right? So like you can't count that. Let's be realistic, Andy. We're basing this on it's being honest with yourself, me, and the listeners.
Oh my god, he's going deep and sentimental.
Yeah, I'm going deep and sentimental. This is the whole point in this. You've said Elder Scrolls. I'll give you that 110% because you're a fantasy guy. You love Elder Scrolls. You like Warhammer. It all ties in together in one neat parcel. There, boom. You said Forza. You can shut the fuck up. I'm not even getting into it. No, you don't like car games. You like car. You drive a car for its fucking needs and part. You don't like car games. You don't. What else did you say there?
I said Fallout.
I'll give you
Fallout.
Fallout because you're a sci-fi guy as well. You like your fantasy. You love Fallout. So that's you've got 2 out of the 4 that you've stated for no reason. And you
Yeah,
claim you said Halo, Andy, didn't you? You said Halo.
I'll play Halo, yeah.
God
Forza.
bless you.
Okay.
What's his assistant called?
Oh, Cortana.
Oh,
Yep,
well
Cortana.
done. What colour is she?
She's kind of blue.
In what game?
I don't know, like whatever. Like,
What
holograms I've
planet
seen
do
her
they
in,
go
it's
to
like-
in Halo 2?
I have no idea. I've never played
Yeah,
Halo 2.
so you don't like it. So you get 3 out of 4 that you named. You were going based on Andy. You were going quantity over quality there. Let's fire you back
Yeah.
over to PlayStation, which you love, right?
Mhm.
Uncharted. They can say
Yep.
what they want, but you know Uncharted 5 is coming. You love Uncharted.
Yep.
You got Last
Great
of Us.
franchise.
Last of Us 3. Let's be realistic. Come on, Last
Yep.
of Us 3. There you go. Let's do it. What else we got? Come on, Horizon 2. Come on.
Yeah, like Horizon. Yeah, Horizon. Yeah.
You've got God of War 2.
God of
Come
War 2,
on,
yep.
come on.
Spider-Man.
You're already at 4. Spider-Man. Fucking, you're at 5 already in PlayStation. We're not even talking about Little Big Planet 4. Come on. Do you see what I'm saying?
No Little Big Planet. No Little Big Planet.
So if you swap from Xbox to PlayStation now, come on, PlayStation's deep.
No.
Why are you sticking with Xbox?
Because Elder Scrolls, Starfield,
Right,
Fallout.
You haven't
these
played
games
Starfield.
are.
you haven't played Starfield. You can't
But I
say
will
these
play
games are. Right, so that's 2. You've said Elder Scrolls and Skyrim. Elder Scrolls and
These games
Starfield.
are big.
They are big games. They are
like,
big games. You're right. Yeah, 100%.
Like see these like the thing is with the Sony games, right? All the games that we mentioned there are like single player, basically one and done games for me. Like I'll play them through one time and then that's it. Done.
So
and I love
who
the
are you
experience.
playing with in Starfield?
Who am I playing with? I
Yeah.
play it myself.
Who are you playing with in Elder Scrolls?
I will play it myself.
Single player one and
The
done.
difference, no, totally. But the difference with those games is right. Like Last of Us 2. I'll take that as an example. I beat it in 30
Horrible
hours.
game though.
Maybe 30.
Not a good game.
I
Not a
loved
good
it.
example.
I loved it. I beat it in about 35 hours. Uncharted 4.
Do
I beat
you?
it in
Here's one question.
30
Then.
hours.
Here's how I'll reframe the question because you're not getting it.
Skyrim.
Last of Us, you love
Over
the story.
200 hours.
Last of Us, you love
Yes.
the story, yeah.
Yes.
Name 3 characters from Last of Us.
From Last of Us.
Yeah.
You've got Ellie. You've got Abby. Joel.
Yeah.
Yep.
Name
You go on.
2 characters from Skyrim.
You don't have characters in Skyrim. It's different. It's an adventure.
What's the
You have
story
to
in
make it really
Skyrim?
fun.
What happens in Skyrim?
So, Androth, who was me, that's my character.
No.
Me.
No, what's the story in Skyrim?
And I had
What's the
Lydia.
story?
Lydia was my companion.
No. What's the story?
The story, basically, there's a war and there's dragons. That's the story.
No. What's the story?
So that's the story.
No,
there's a war.
there's more to it than
dragons.
that. I know there's more to it than that, but you can't remember it.
It was like 7 years ago I played it, but I loved it. And I put
What's the
200 hours.
story of The Last of Us 1, Andy?
Last of Us 1, there's a zombie outbreak, takes
No,
over the
there's
world.
not a zombie outbreak, you're wrong.
Not a zombie, like a virus outbreak. And people
Mhm.
turn into
Fungal
kind of
infection.
mutant thing. Fungal infection, yeah.
It's like athlete's foot for your
and
face.
There's a girl who's immune to it, and they have to take her from one place to another place because people after you, and then blah blah blah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, what one sunk deeper with you?
Probably Last of Us, but I had more fun with Skyrim.
It's not about fun. This is about who's going to be our franchises.
Microsoft has more.
Quantity over quality. Okay, so you want to say more. So you want to go into the you're 100% PlayStation's out the window. You're sunk on.
It's not out the
Microsoft.
window.
Listen, you've just said
Not at all,
PlayStation.
but like-
You've just thrown PlayStation to the floor. You've spat in your trophy score. You're Andy No Plats for a reason. You're now Andy No PlayStation. Right? So you're at Xbox forefront. That's how you're because they've got more. Is that?
I think.
Listen,
that in the
no,
future-
I don't care what you
Well-
think. Your answer is they've got more.
They've got more,
Right,
and it's
stop
all
there.
free.
No,
It's
stop
all
there.
free.
Stop there. Who cares if it's all free? Because I'm going to throw Nintendo back in the ring here.
Okay.
Xbox has more.
Nintendo has more than
They do.
Xbox,
They do though.
but
Butts
they've
are
got
for
less
pooping.
that I'm interested in. They've got less
Let's
I'm interested
compare
in.
it. Let's compare it.
Mm-hmm.
Mario Odyssey 2, you buying it?
Yes.
Breath of the Wild 2.
Yeah.
Splatoon 3?
I probably will buy that. Yeah.
You will, yeah. Mario Kart. Let's be honest, you're buying them all. Mario Kart 9.
Yeah, I'll buy that.
Yeah, you get them. We could go on and on and on and on and on. Metroid Prime 4, you're going to get Metroid Prime 4.
I'll get that. Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm more
Metroid Dread?
hesitant about that one.
Metroid
No,
Dread, you're
I
going
will
to get Metroid. You're going to get Metroid. Of course you are. So Sony's out the window for some reason, Wendy, and he's basing this on Bethesda. He's not basing it on Microsoft because he doesn't like any Microsoft
Basing
franchises.
it on Elder Scrolls. Like,
Yep.
It's just Elder Scrolls. Like,
So you've got Elder Scrolls here. Do you like Skyrim more than Breath of the Wild?
Put more time in Skyrim.
That's not what I asked.
Had more fun with Skyrim. Yeah, definitely. Skyrim better.
You think Skyrim's better? What's the story of Skyrim again? Let's talk about that.
It doesn't like. What's the story of fucking Breath of the Wild? Like, what is that? No,
You
it's
tell
got
me.
no fucking story either.
What happened at the
It
start
doesn't need a
of?
story.
Listen to me. What happened at the start of Breath of the Wild?
You wake up naked in a cave
Yep. Why?
because he was in a slumber for
He
like
was
I
in
don't
a
know
slumber.
however many.
You already have
Just
told me
slumber.
more about Zelda than you have about Skyrim.
Because I played it more recently.
Doesn't matter.
But like honestly, I don't think either of those games. The story is the strong point. Like I'm not playing those games for story. I'm playing it for fun adventures and like moment to moment gameplay.
Sure, and what one do you think's better as a game? What one did you personally recently rank better in the last few years?
I mean, it may have been Zelda, but I had more
It was
fun.
Zelda. No, that's not what you said. You're just saying that now, right? So Skyrim is not an Xbox franchise. You don't know what the next Elder Scrolls is going to be, and you already said at the start of this we can't base this on what ifs. Okay,
Okay, I changed my mind. PlayStation.
PlayStation.
I
Right.
go back.
So Xbox is
I
it?
go
Okay. So what PlayStation franchise do you like better than Zelda?
I would say, well, Zelda's an outlier.
No,
'Cause, like,
Zelda's
Zelda-
Zelda's the question. My question is, what PlayStation franchise do you like better than Zelda? We'll start there.
I probably like Last of Us better.
Then
And
what?
Horizon.
Then what Zelda?
Horizon, because if you think back to 2017, if you go back, there's archived podcasts of this. If you go back to 2017, listen to my coverage of Breath of the Wild and Horizon that I was playing both at the same time. I fell off Zelda and I
Well,
followed
it doesn't
through
make
with
a difference. But after you finish both, what was a better game?
Horizon had a better story.
No, that's not what I asked. You know it's
That's what
Zelda,
I say.
right? So Zelda's your answer. So let's move on to platformers. You like Ratchet and Clank? You're a big fan, huge fan.
I'm not a huge fan. No, so sorry.
You're a big PlayStation fan though. Mario Odyssey. What's better, Mario Odyssey or Ratchet and Clank?
Mario Odyssey.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so-
Mario.
yeah. Okay. What else have you got?
I know
What's
what
the
he's
walking-
doing now. He's trying to make me say Nintendo is the best. He's
I'm
trying
not.
to convince
I
me.
am not trying to
Yeah.
convince you about anything. I'm trying to get you to think about it logically. I'm just thinking. I mean, you said Xbox for no reason whatsoever, because you like Skyrim, which was a game that came out like 10 years ago. You had no other basis. You tried to throw out Forza and Halo, and no one that listens knows. And PlayStation, you're kind of flopping on that as well. Like,
No, PlayStation has like the story-based games that I like.
they do. They do.
They do. They have better stories in every regard than Nintendo. Nintendo do not have stories.
No,
They're not as good gameplay.
they do have good gameplay, but are you not buying a game to play it? Like, surely if you like stories, you should be doing a movie podcast.
For me, as we've known, and I've said it all the time in the past,
You like
the
reading
game
stuff? You do.
games as a medium.
So why did you try and
story
lie about Xbox?
is more important to me
So
than
what was
anything
this?
else.
So what was the story about Skyrim again? Let's go back to that.
Skyrim's different. It's like Skyrim was my own story that I told with my
No, it
character.
wasn't.
And
You couldn't even tell me that. You couldn't even tell me that. You couldn't even tell me that.
I played it 6, 7, 8 years ago, whatever it was.
Andy,
I
I
could've told
played
you.
Mario 64 like 14, 15, maybe more years ago, and I can tell you the story of Mario 64. I can tell you the story of many.
There's no
This is-
story to these.
Mario
games, though,
64, you jump out a pipe and goes Yahoo, and it's dun 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 dun, dun and the Koopa thing goes
not
round
a
your head.
story.
And then do you know what?
It's not-
Do-do-do-do-do. Ha ha ha. And it's Koopa. And do you know what? You have to go in the sorry Bowser for you Americans. You have to go in the castle and guess what? He's hidden. Ba 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 ba. Let's go. And you go in the paintings and you're in Bubble Mountain. Sorry, do you need to be elsewhere?
No, I was just checking to see if my missus had messaged me yet because she's working. She's not
She's
back.
probably not because she knows that she's married to a man that says that he likes Xbox and he really doesn't.
I do like Xbox.
But no,
I
realistically,
Skyrim.
PlayStation. Are you trying to say PlayStation has got better franchises than Nintendo?
PlayStation has better stories than Nintendo. And
No. Let's not change the question as I ask it. Do they have better franchises than Nintendo? Could you get Horizon Kart? Could you get Horizon Golf?
I mean,
No, you
no,
couldn't.
probably.
No. Could you get Last of Us Golf? Yes, you did. Right to Joel's head. Ha! But could that would be so insensitive. But this is what I mean. Like, if you've got a good franchise, you can spin it off
Yeah.
properly.
Yeah, well, I
and I
mean,
don't just mean a
Sony are-
sequel, prequel, side story.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, spin it off. Could you get Last of Us Party for kids?
You're also not going to get Metroid Party or Bayonetta Party though. Like
That's not a
some
point.
franchises
Yeah,
don't
but
make sense
the
to me.
point, the problem is here, Andy, that you're fighting a losing battle because Nintendo have those franchises for a different audience. Sony don't have these anymore.
That's fine. I don't need that though because I've.
You
got
do because
Nintendo
you've got
to
a
play with.
daughter. No.
Yeah,
This
but I
isn't
can-
the argument. The argument is who has the better first party lineup. And if you look at it objectively, your answer is not Sony. Your answer is not Nintendo. Your answer is not Xbox.
What is it then? All three.
It's all three. It's harmony.
Yeah, you have to just buy all three.
No. I know.
It's a trick question. It's
It
a
is
trick question.
It wasn't a trick question. The answer is Nintendo. It's in all honesty, it's Nintendo because it appeals to a 4-year-old as much as it does a 44-year-old, and Sony and Microsoft have both backed off that audience. If you can get a kid to game, you've got a gamer for life. Like you can't hand a PlayStation 5 to a kid and go, I couldn't even recommend Ratchet and Clank because it's grown with the audience. Like
Yeah,
it's
too
a dark
complicated, so-
platformer. Yeah.
Yeah.
You
For
hand.
young kids.
I can. I'm not talking about third party because yeah, of course you've got the likes of Spyro and Crash and stuff, Sonic. I can't. There's not a why the fuck have Microsoft and PlayStation just abandoned the children? Like Wu-Tang is for the children. Remember that. Like, why can't you have what you've got just now? I appreciate it because I am knocking on 40's door and I'm still able to play games and feel 4 years away. I'm on the bad side of 40, bad side of 30. Like,
4 years is a long time.
it's not really. Lex is 4 in January, mate. So like, it's good that you've evolved with us, Sony and Microsoft. The problem is that your first party studios have forgotten about the children. They have. Neither of them can say that they've got a franchise or gaming to get the kids interested and involved. That's why companies like in television come up and go, look what we can do. Like, kids like this sort of shit.
Yeah.
If Microsoft and Sony made a total focus, like, how did you start gaming, Andy? Because the marketed games at kids is the right answer.
Yeah. Like I played Pong.
But sure, you can get Puppy Patrol. Sure, you can get like Crashes on everything now, like Sonic's on everything now. But why the fuck are PlayStation and Microsoft not directing games towards children? Why is Banjo not a franchise? Why is
Yeah.
you know what?
Banjo on
This-
Xbox. Totally.
This is the biggest problem. So I could say Xbox, you could say PlayStation. In fact, I talked you from Xbox to PlayStation tonight. But like, you understand where I'm coming from, that to market to the biggest audience, you don't market to 30, 40-year-olds because they're halfway through their life already. You market to the kids. And I'm saying Nintendo are the only one out of... The reason Nintendo still stand isn't their innovation, it's because of the marketing. How they can make a franchise appeal to 5-year-olds and 55-year-olds and above, 65 and 75-year-old gamers out there. But like, that is the truth. Nintendo are the only ones that can get a game that is just as playable for a 5-year-old as it is for myself.
Yeah, and I mean it's not every Nintendo game like that, but like things like Mario Odyssey, Mario Kart, like those transcend like age. 100%.
Breath of the Wild, Splatoon 2, like Xenoblade to an extent. There's nothing in that. There's no swear. Xenoblade is not. There's nothing in that game. That's the most extreme Nintendo game I can think of. No, Mad World is, but never mind.
Yeah, but like your kid's not gonna play Xenoblade.
They will.
Like realistic.
They will.
Not right now.
Not now.
Like not at 4. Like a 4-year-old's not gonna play.
No,
Xenoblade.
of course, but that's you diving away from the 20 fucking franchises that are Nintendo's front and foremost of. Look at what we can do for you, like Pokemon, Mario, Zelda, fucking Pikmin, like Animal Crossing, like. Look at all the shit we can do, and then we'll do spin-offs and spin-offs and spin-offs. And you like Amiibo? Yeah, we're going to release. Nintendo don't need to worry because they're worth more than both. As a games company, the games side of it is worth more. But for the best first-party franchises are Nintendo, because see if you line up everything we've just said about Xbox and PlayStation and put them together. They've still not lasted as many years as all the Nintendo franchises. Nintendo has thrived.
That's a fair point. Like all the franchises that we've spoken about, pretty much, like especially Sony ones. All the Sony ones have come about relatively recently.
No, more so Microsoft.
Well, no, because you've got Halo.
When did Halo come out compared? Go back what, 10 years?
No, but say I'm comparing them to like Sony's ones. Say like you've got Horizon that's coming out, that's just come out basically like 4 years ago. Just like that was the first one. Like Ghost of Tsushima, brand new franchise. Death Stranding, brand new franchise.
Yeah, but here's the problem is and the problem with both of them is, Andy, like you had Crash that was exclusive and that. They let them slip through their fingers because they didn't realise what they had. See if Sony knew about Crash, they'd have locked that fucking shit down. They'd have went, that's ours. And see when it went multi-format in the 360 era, I was like, what? Why the fuck is Crash on Xbox?
Yeah, very strange, yeah.
They should have locked that shit down. Like there's several franchises, like even Tomb Raider. PlayStation should have made that console exclusive. Resident Evil, console exclusive. They should have locked it. Final Fantasy, they should have locked that back down ages ago. And Sony have dropped the ball so many times. And Microsoft have just been chipping away all these years from we've missed a generation but we're here now, guys, and Sony have just been laughing all the way. But I'm sorry, but the race is more like this now, whereas it used to be Sony and Microsoft chasing them. However, the problem is they're chasing each other, but do you know who's sitting at the top? It's Nintendo on their ever-floating Kid Icarus throne, Andy. They don't give a fuck. Nintendo are just like the tube up the middle, and Microsoft and Sony are going up the sides. Like, you can say what you like and personal opinion aside, but the longevity in the franchises that Nintendo have provided us, besides the newer ones that we've mentioned like Splatoon and stuff, Metroid celebrated its 35th anniversary a few days ago, Andy. Metroid, that's the indie of the AAA Nintendo games, the one that sells the least, and it's third in the chart. And do you know what's ahead of it? Is it a PlayStation game? No. Is it a Microsoft game? Nope. It's FIFA and Far Cry. It's third party games. This is what I'm getting at. Every time a first party Nintendo game comes out to the charts, you watch. You should do a show or something that talks about it every week right here on YouTube. Follow, like, subscribe, share and all that stuff. Because you know what will happen? You'll see every time one of these games comes out, pow, at least top 5 in the charts. Pow. Can you see that for every PlayStation, every Xbox? No, you can't. And I know Game Pass is an unfair comparison, but PlayStation is not an unfair comparison. The longevity of Nintendo
pathetic.
games are undisputable, is what I'm saying.
Like, when these PlayStation exclusive franchises come out, though, they're like #1 in the chart. Like
Correct.
God of War, Last of Us, like
For a week.
Ghost of Tsushima.
For a
Like, they
week.
come out there
For potentially a week.
for at least 1 week, usually 2 to 5.
Incorrect. But yeah, that's due to timing. Doesn't mean every one of them are good. Same for Microsoft. There's Nintendo games I haven't liked. There's very rarely a first party Nintendo game that comes out that's shite.
Arms.
I didn't like it. It reviewed well. People love it. There's a sequel
I
coming.
didn't like it.
Yeah,
Bad game.
we're not everybody. This
No.
is what I mean. Like, we're not everybody. What I'm saying is the true. You can see. I'm surprised you said Xbox, but I can't believe that I talked you from Xbox to PlayStation. The real answer is Nintendo, no matter what you say. I realised that
Just
I was
get all of them. Like, just get all of them.
no, get all of them if you can, but it's a first world problem. But what I'm saying is, I was playing Metroid and I realised this is just pure gaming. This is just actual pure gaming. The last time I said that was probably The Last of Us on PS3. And I was like, oh my god, I'm just in a flow. This is just pure gaming. I don't care if I die. This is just pure. I am involved in this fucking game. That's The Last of Us 1 was the last time I said that. That's a whole console
You just
generation
shut
skipped.
off. You shut off your outside life, like, completely, and you're like, I'm in the zone, I'm in.
More or less, that's what happened with Last of Us 1. But see, with nowadays I've got kids. But see, I could honestly say if I didn't have kids just now, they would have been shut off for Metroid. If I didn't have kids, I would just be on my 2 days off. Just it would be finished by now. To be fair, if I didn't have kids, but Nintendo's the right answer.
Fair.
So we'll end it there.
Yeah.
I can't believe you went to Xbox.
Or
and touched it. What's your
I
favorite?
like all three
What's your favorite PlayStation game right now?
of all time.
No, right now. What you
Like
playing on
them.
PlayStation 5? What's your favorite PlayStation game right now?
Oh, well, I mean, I just finished Life is Strange 2 Calls. It was fantastic.
So we'll go with that. Cool. Ask me mine.
What's your favourite?
Mario Odyssey.
PlayStation
I'm
game?
joking. Ghost of Tsushima. Just now.
Okay. Yeah.
What's your favorite Xbox game just now? Series X, preferably.
The Medium.
It's not an next gen game.
Oh.
It's not.
Life is not Life is Strange. What's it called? Yakuza. Like a Dragon. Good game.
100%. What's your favorite Nintendo game just now?
Oh, on Switch. Breath of the Wild. Like,
Have you not played a game in the last 4 years?
yeah, but like, Breath of the Wild.
Such a good game. It's such a good game.
Like right now, like what am I playing? I'm playing fucking Super Metroid on my Switch.
Yeah,
Alex.
yeah.
It's a
Yeah,
best
but
game.
does that not speak to the power of PlayStation? Power of Nintendo?
Yeah, a 30-year-old SNES game. Yeah, absolutely.
Exactly, man.
I couldn't tell you the last like proper Nintendo game I played. I played that Bowser's Fury. That was good. This was obviously Metroid for that
What's that for Nintendo?
for Switch.
I don't know.
for SNES.
Breath of the Wild. Just right now, Metroid Dread. It's very. I finished a few games. I finished like over 12 games this year, but like Metroid Dread. Like I like the Art of Escape. I like Monster Hunter Rise, but Metroid Dread is just a thing of beauty. Like it's almost like this is what you've been trying to do all these years. Like you, as much as you, see the way. I love the fact that you're loving Super Metroid just now, and you're like, this is a good game. It's like what, a 30-year-old, 35-year-old game. No, sorry, it'll be 28, 29-year-old game, whatever. Like 30-year-old game. Yeah, Metroid Dread is like everything that's came along. It's not as if like, you know, sometimes you see a game coming back like Sonic 4 and it's like, what the fuck have you done? This is almost like they never went away and they just needed this time to make it like this, to make it this fucking good. That's what this feels like. And I've never once felt like a game that's got like 2.5D, you can see into the background, it's like, yeah, this looks good. I've never played this sort of game that's went, oh yeah, I'm accepting what's going on in the background. Before I've just seen it, I'll be like, indie much? Like, come on. Like, why are you doing this? Like, you know, it's just done for like the guy that always smoked at music class. Like, what's the fucking point? Just because the teacher leaves us alone? Like, do it at lunchtime. In fact, you owe me for 2. But you know what I mean? Like, this game is not indie at all. This game is AAA, and like every bit of the background, you're like, I got killed twice because I was looking at a fucking motherfucking space whale in the background. Like, honestly, I've died because of looking at the background. That's how in depth this game is. So yeah, I would say Metroid just now. For Xbox, it's got to be Forza. Forza Horizon always. I would have said that in 360 as well. Forza Horizon 2. Forza Horizon 4 just now. But PlayStation, Ghost of Tsushima is my favourite game just now. I'm not gonna lie. Love that. It's fucking amazing. It's the way Assassin's Creed should have went instead of like History Simulator. That's what should have happened. You'll play it and you'll go, Ali was right. I should have played this a long time ago.
I will definitely play at some point, and I guarantee you, I'll go like, "Oh, Ali was right."
You will, and it looks so. The difference between it and Assassin's Creed is Assassin's Creed's looks haven't changed since the 360. Really, this looks beautiful. Like, it looks amazing. Like, see, just going through a field and his hand goes down and rubs along like the flowers and the blossoms go in the air. Like, just moments like that are perfect. But anyway, I've liked this discussion. It went on longer than the actual show itself, which was surprising. I didn't think it would go on this long. I didn't think you'd side with Xbox, you big strange man, you. But yeah, I think the consensus is that Nintendo's the right answer, regardless of what. Like, Nintendo franchises are for the children. Wu-Tang's for the children. 42 is for the children. Google it if you don't know what I'm talking about. Thank you very much for tuning in and watching. What is your favourite franchise? What is your favourite game? Who do you think has the best franchise? Let us know in the comments. I'll answer you back. Maybe Andy will. Maybe he'll log in and talk to you. He won't. But I'll answer you. I'll be there. Like Friends, the TV series. But anyway,
Yes.
we appreciate each and every single one of you. This has been a wee bit of a long episode. We will catch you all again Friday for the video game news. I've been Ali. That guy there's been Andy. He talks nonsense and I talk sense. And Bond has just talked my camera off. What have you got to say for yourself, Bond? What have you got to say for yourself? You going to say
my
goodnight?
God.
Like the cat's on my table. Look, this is my setup. This is behind the scenes, folks.
Behind the table, yeah.
What is
I
that?
see.
Anyway, thank you very much for tuning in and watching. We will catch you on Tuesday. Bye. Bond, I am
Bye.
going to skin you.